Just getting December trade balance data for the U.S. here. It comes out negative 62.2 billion, basically in line with consensus, but slightly lower than the forecast of negative 63 billion. That's really the biggest economic data point today. We do have some manufacturing data coming up later in the week, but as of this morning, we got exports and imports there, 258 billion, 320 billion for each, basically in line with expectations. All eyes on more Fed comments coming up later in the day. Long list once again today. We got Kugler. I haven't even heard of that one yet. Barkin, Bowman, there's a few others to come later in the afternoon as well. So starting at 11 o'clock, heads up on the overall market. Meanwhile, yeah, futures trying to bounce. Overall, we are dealing with a whole bunch of earnings reports once again this morning. Snapchat, there's Uber, there's a few of the Chinese ADRs moving around. Alibaba, not one of those, though, coming off their report this morning. It's Wednesday, February 7th, 2024. Tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, nice move up in the overall market here over the past, 20 minutes or so, straight to the upside for futures. Not a huge move. We are still positive on the morning, though. 0.4 right now for the NASDAQ, about 0.284. The S&P, yeah, you saw that BUD, Anheuser-Busch, nice gap higher here after that late day move yesterday. Seemed to be on a post from former U.S. President Trump backing Budweiser. So I saw that was higher again this morning. It will be interesting today, but lots to look at on the earnings side of things this morning. Roblox, a huge mover as well. Yeah. A lot of these coming out pre-market this morning as well, so busy so far in the pre-market. Yeah, Neil Kashkari making an unscheduled appearance right now on CNBC, so keep your eye on any comments or any futures movement. Lots to talk about, like you said today, Brendo, Snapchat, Ford, you have Alibaba as well as Uber, so many names to get through today, as well as a new hire at the New York Community Bank, which has been having a lot of trouble lately. Yeah, Kashkari scheduled to come through later in the day as well, but yeah, on CNBC right now. So comments coming through. We're at day highs here for the futures. Possibly why. Here's Uber as well, 1.6%. Hit 73 early on. We're kind of chopping around the call coming up here, guys, for Uber, one of many on watch today after earnings.
Good morning, and if you're watching any of those earnings after market, which I know you were, Sean, and everybody else was, just a few. It felt as if everything that went up first ended up down, and then anything was down ended up. And this morning, it's a bit of the same thing. Like if Uber was up and then down, and Alibaba was up and then down, and Roblox was down, and then now it's like a bajillion% to the upside. But the volatility is, maybe it's over 10%, but maybe not a bajillion. Volatility is definitely here after Palantir. Like you get 30% one way, you get 30% the other way with Snapchat. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And this isn't even the biggest move Snapchat's had after earnings in its history. So it's going to be another wild one. I know you had a good night last night. I hope you got some rest, because it's going to be not much. It's going to be wild today. There's going to be some ridiculous R-vol on a few names, especially Snap. Oh man, yeah, no, we had a great time. We were on the go over to our Trader TV, Sean. We were on the ice there at Scotiabank, and it was quite amazing. Saw some alumni Leafs, and just didn't get home till 10:30, which is fine. This is fine. Yeah, look, the sticky note is like littered. I don't even really know what to write on here anymore, honestly, because there's so many ideas. I mean, Snapchat's coming into 12 as we speak. I want to take the long there. So we're waiting for the long on Snapchat right around here. I'm going to get the sticky note out in a minute. Even Palantir should probably be back on watch. I was loving Apple again this morning, because we broke above that 190 again. And I mean, own, don't trade in the long term, except for buying, I guess. Palantir dipped down today after being up 30 yesterday is huge. So we're going to look for some levels here on Palantir, I was thinking about. And then you guys know, I tweeted this out. Attention to every single guest that has ever come on the Market Recap Show. We were always talking about Roblox down here at 40. I'm taking some out here. It's a huge move back, not huge, but 10%, 11%, 12% back up here right into this level. So again, another
good call there. And then also looking at yesterday, we had Uber long 68.70 or 69-ish yesterday, finishes the day up at $70. And then I was like, what? Uber reported this morning. I actually forgot it was an AM. There's that dip in yesterday, and then there's the end of the day. We had that on the sticky note, and now today I'm like, oh God, now we have to trade it based on numbers. So this could be off. I put down here into 68 again for Uber, possibly today. But do we really want to trade names that were earnings plays? Because they can go, you just saw it. I mean, Neil mentioned it, right? Enphase got hit down to $92 yesterday in the aftermarket. And now, what's going on with this chart? Like, oh, yeah. So I was going to go over to a name like Apple that broke through one. Anyways, what I was getting at was sometimes on earnings, and we'll talk about Alibaba, I don't want to like bury the lead here. There's so many names that we're going to talk to that is going to be on this rundown. But no, I was going to say, if we want to trade something simple, Google, Apple, those kind of names that are trying to recover back.
I love Apple.
You get the NASDAQ up 0.45. Apple's above that 190. I was writing down, there's many sticky notes, literally all of the lights right here. And I kept talking about we're not going to go long Apple until we get above 190. And now we're above 190. And then people saying, what about Ford? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There's so much. Ford is on the sticky note. I just got to publish it. But anyways, so many things to talk about today. If you're looking for earnings plays and you're going to be looking for active trades,
there's too many of them.
Yeah, you're going to be in the right spot here today. Trust me. We're going to go over Ford. One of my top stocks yesterday was the Spiders. Like I'm trying, there's so many things to trade all of the time.
Alphabet too.
Disney last night. Well, in the afternoon show,
there's news.
We hit a great trade, and then there's news with Warner Brothers today. A little bit. I mean, it's starting to go, man. Bitcoin's at 43, Nvidia's moving around, DraftKings. I mean, there's an unlimited amount of things to talk about. Thank you to all the guests. Michael Noss, we talked about K-Web the other day as well. AMD. Ford. Oh, man. Okay. Whew. Let's go back over to the desk and take a minute to look at more charts.
Pretty impressive. Nice report, surprisingly, for Ford. There was a move down there in the overall futures. Kashkari just said if the labor market remains strong, they can continue to dial back policy stance, quote unquote, very slowly. So that was that move down. But I was just saying to Sharif, like every dip gets bought on the futures. Yeah, there's Uber. The call on right now, actually, it started at 8 o'clock. I thought it was 8:30, but just be aware if anyone's watching Uber, the earnings call on currently. So we'll keep an eye on any more comments coming through here from Kashkari. In the meantime, again, he's supposed to come back later this afternoon as well and give more comments. In the meantime, that's how things ended, or started the day, at least, down 0.5%, 0.9, 0.02, 0.1 to the upside for the NASDAQ. Yeah, there's a long list, as we were saying. Snapchat is not good. Alibaba basically flat even. I mean, their report was solid. There was some questions, although Roblox standing out this morning. There's Yum Brands, there's Mattel, Disney to come after the close tonight. So lots to look forward to as well.
Oh yeah, plenty, Brendo. And just to add some color to your comments earlier, Kashkari also saying that it may be appropriate to cut 2 to 3 times this year. At least he's giving a specific number. Jerome Powell was quite, adamant in his Sunday interview about saying, we're not going to cut nearly as much as the market is expecting. So be on the lookout for that. He's still speaking at the moment. With respect to Ford, though, you brought up a really good point. Solid report, but it's really one division that's carrying the others here. It's the Ford commercial, the Ford Pro commercial business that makes the F-150 and the like. That's really keeping things up. Ford Blue obviously is not doing that well. That's their internal combustion engine, and nor is Ford E. So we're going to have to keep an eye and see how Ford's done, but better report than expected.
Yeah, it's a race to see who can get a affordable EV out the door and into the market first. I was just looking at some of the chips here. AMD, a little bit green at this point this morning. There's more positive comments, positive analyst comments anyways on the AI front, including on NVIDIA as well. We rejected that 700 again yesterday. A little bit red versus what AMD and some of the other ones are doing so far.
Maybe we'll write that ship of on a busy day actually talking about chips more than 2 or 3 times. It's weird. Like, I think the only times yesterday that we talked about chips when we were in a position on a chip stock, and despite it flying around, we talked about SMCI, which was insane in closing up at those highs. But AMD, it's settling down after that earnings. And what I do like is you have some support starting to form. I'm saying starting to form. I understand it's pulling back still. 181 remains a gigantic problem for the stock if it ever gets back up there. But 164, I think that's looking pretty clean because you had that wipeout bottom. And when you get a wipeout bottom like that and then a rally off of it, you want the higher low to hold. That's what happened yesterday. So you put in that higher low. It was at 166. You bottomed at 166. Again, that to me shows you finally a bit of a support level that you can dig into. We're at 169, so there's definitely a possibility this comes into play today on AMD. So it's not just about the earnings names. Sometimes it's about those post-earnings setups as well. We already mentioned that with Apple and again bouncing off 180 and now trying to challenge that 190 level. NVIDIA, the frustration of NVIDIA was only wanting to be one way at the 700 level. That said, as a trader, sometimes at a big level, you're just looking to do one thing. It's fine. It never gave you the breakout off that. It was pre-market over and under multiple times, and then the breakout at the top just simply didn't materialize. But the good news is if you're looking breakout, at least you didn't have a losing trade because it never broke out. Today, I think it's pretty simple to say, look at this close down here at 660. Watch 685. That is clear as day in the afternoon. You have a morning top, afternoon top, pre-market-ish high at 685. I think if it can take that one out, you're probably headed to that 700 level. And maybe there was too many people anticipating you were going to break that 700, and we can catch some people off guard with a bunch of other things running today. And then then NVIDIA could make that run. But first things first, has to crack that 685 level.
For me, in the AI space, I guess, I'm just going to, and it's, again, I'm getting it out as we speak here, but I'm going to look at Google again here today because what I literally wrote down on the sticky note is enough is enough. Like, this name got hit really good, but we just keep on bouncing. Like, hit that, like, look at this 50-period moving average. It's like it comes down into 140 and bounces again. And so what I mean by enough is like, this should be a big trade. We should be able to make a good trade. Like, all of this stuff underneath here, we have the NASDAQ now starting to get back going. I feel like if we dip in and we may have to take out, I mean, this 145.50 area, we may have to take that out and ride this thing up. Like, but if the NASDAQ is gonna go, I am almost certain that Google is going to be one of the bigger winners here, with not as much risk associated or necessary that we may think on this trade. That 144, it's a 50-period moving average. This is just a 20-minute chart. I don't really use that for anything other than looking at levels. But like, this is why I look at it. There's 144. We've talked about 144 lots of times. Leaving these bottoms is 143.50. Like, there's so much support down here, I feel like. The name, I was gonna show you yesterday's trade, but again, I gotta get rid of that. So many nice moves happening in Google that we should be buying some 144s. So let's do that. That's going to be a play that I have on my mind. I will look. I mean, I always say maybe we may not look at NVIDIA or AMD early, but we always do. So those names will come into play very, very soon. But for me, I prefer the setup here on Google. We're through earnings. I feel like they got beat up a little too much there, not necessary. And now we'll have to see if they can hold that 144 bid. So that's where I'm looking as far as like a big tech play early. And then we will also, we're gonna get to all of it, but yeah, I have Snapchat, Ford, Uber, Baba, Google, Apple, a couple other ideas, Roblox.
We got a super chat we should get to. Although I think we're probably thinking the same thing because I think the last time Snapchat did this, we did exactly the same thing, looking for an SSR bounce. But T-Money, oh snap. Snap snapped. I'm thinking long scalp. Somehow in there, I almost read I'm thinking long snap. You could have just said, you could have added one more snap in there and been like long snap and it still would have worked. But long scalp, yeah, we always talk about the SSR play. And I don't think there will be much disagreement. There's a saying, if it doesn't break the low, there's only one place to go. It's kind of an obvious thing. Like, a stock gap's down 30%. If it doesn't break its low, how is it not going to have some kind of a substantive rally? So it got down to $12. You know, so we're gonna go over this. I don't disagree here. If it makes a fresh low after that overnight bottom, I would just get out. But it's going to be short sell restricted. So there's going to be scalp plays. Just because the stock got beaten up doesn't mean there aren't long opportunities on it. It's not an I would go long anywhere type of moment, but it did put in a pretty distinct bottom in the aftermarket and then kind of based off that in the pre-market as well. So I don't disagree with you there. T-money.
All right, we're just seeing Tesla back above 190 there very briefly. It's pulling back right now, but nice move higher here so far this morning, once again, off that 175, I guess it was at the bottom yesterday. But I was just seeing, I mean, it's kind of a strange headline, but Tesla asked what jobs are critical, stoking layoff worries or thoughts anyways for Tesla. So it seemed to move higher on that again through 190 once again, which is going back to the end of last week. Heavy volume on the day yesterday. You saw at the bottom there on the buy side of things coming through 180 after that hold of 175 again. But Tesla looks good. We'll touch on Alibaba here, just trying to roll over. The call for Alibaba started at 7:30. So we're more than an hour into that. The last comment I saw came through at 8:30. So Baba trying to hold on desperately here to 75. They were talking about physical retail and getting away from physical retail operations.
Yeah, Brendo, they're really focusing on e-commerce and cloud. Those are the two segments of their business that they feel that they can make the most money out of, and that's what they're talking about today. You know, basically, e-commerce did all right. Look, 2% year-over-year growth on the quarter. That's not what you want to see from a big, giant e-commerce retailer. And you also have 3% year-over-year growth in cloud. That doesn't compare to some of the other names that we've been comparing to in North America. So we'll have to see how they do. But yeah, popped up to about 82.5 and right back down, basing at 75.
Yeah, the last comment again I saw was 8:33. So we should be wrapping that up any moment now. But Alibaba looking a little bit weak here, guys. Tesla taking out highs right now as well. Again, there was some comments or chatter around possible layoffs for Tesla, so moving higher on that. Just be aware of the market as well. Yields are also moving around right now on, it would appear, some of these Kashkari comments.
Neil Kashkari, by the way. You always just say Kashkari.
Spelled the wrong way.
Nah, you know, no one's perfect.
N-E-I-L for Neil. Yeah, he's here. He's in the building, baby.
What's up, Randy?
It's Randy. He's in the building. You mentioned that Tesla was laying people off. I said under my breath, like, more robots, less people. And I feel like that might
Optimist, baby.
That might be a good thing. But Randy, you're looking for a little bit of a lower dip in this name.
I think so. Yeah, I think a lower dip. We're going to see some. I don't know. It's not strong. So labor issues are what they are. They're not as bad as the big three: Ford, GM, Stellantis.
Ford had a good quarter, though.
Ford had a good quarter.
Up a couple points.
Teslas are now commodity. They're not the the superstar science project they used to be. So let's see what happens. I think there's going to be some volume in Europe. North America's kind of flat. We're waiting desperately for a Model 2 and some Mexico news. We'll see. And then dips on XOM.
What is your thought? Like, how much of Tesla's price do you think is Elon Musk himself alone? Because if he keeps getting pissed off about all this corporate governance stuff and not being able to get paid appropriately to the agreement that they made when this stock was sub $60 billion market cap, he made this agreement that he'd get paid appropriately, took a risk on the company. 10x from there is where we are right now, and he's not able to get paid. And now it looks like we're getting from Delaware over into Texas. How much, I think if he really continues to be pissed off, this stock just falls on that alone.
I'm not so convinced. I'd like to take him out of the picture, but you can't.
Okay.
You
Right.
can't do that.
Can't do that. And from a shareholder perspective, yes, he's running the show, but take the antics away, take the drama out of the picture.
And pay
look at their
that
bottom
man
line, look
his
at their numbers.
money.
He'll get his money, but I mean,
Yeah, he's gonna get. I mean, you could just sell
you
it.
got
right
you
now.
got to keep looking at the numbers, production, then deliveries, and go from there, and just try and ignore the. Try and ignore the hype and the nonsense. Keep following the numbers. There's gonna be some strength coming, not right away though. Next quarter.
Or right now, up 3%. Just saying. No, I know I'm kind of with you there, but at the same time, we are rallying big time on Tesla. It feels like in the short term, the buy after the earnings was missed, but you're saying it could still be more downturn.
I think there's going to be some more downturn until we get some news of the Model 2 and again the Gigafactory in Mexico. Lots of stuff to come, but right away, not so much.
It's Randy, and that was Dandy.
And
All right.
did you see that?
Did he make those moves into bulls?
No, those were, we had these, they've been bears for a
They've been
couple of
bears,
days.
But today, I don't have one short idea on my list here today. FYI.
Oh, I think I had one. It was probably
Man, this Tesla, I'm starting to get some FOMO my damn self right now on Tesla. I recently bought at 186. It's not.
No,
not
I don't
that.
actually have a short idea.
Yeah, see, it's not that it's up huge from 186. I mean, if I'm trying to buy this thing and think it's undervalued, you're at 600 billion market cap right now. We were at 800 or so up here. You're down about 55% or so, right? 260 down to 180, yeah. So it's a nice move down from its not from this high, not 55% from this high, from its all-time highs of 420, I think it was. Wasn't there all split adjusted high something near like that 420?
I
something?
think there was something to that number.
But anyway, it's just so silly. But anyway, the end of the day here, everybody's right who says hold on, because we always talk about getting that garbage out of here, and that would be all of this. So as soon as you can get above here, this is probably on like 196. If we really get going today, I think this is a punch long. Like, I'd rather there be a I mean, we'll talk about what the catalysts are, and we just did a little bit there. But like on some kind of a real catalyst, like I think we'll already be through this at this point, but like if today they announce like a Model 2 or something like that, or something, that they officially moved out of Delaware, or the something happened with the, I really like this 196 break, man. Get all of this out of here. Once you break 196, I think you almost shoot directly to 210, and then you're starting to test up here again. 230, where the 50-period moving average is. Call me crazy. You wouldn't be the first, and most likely not the last. But I see, now here comes Tesla right back down again, another $1. So I think that 196, as per some holding and be patient, I think that's probably a good take there, or bids down near 180. So play the range for now, but I like that 196 break.
I kind of double bottom like AMD did. So like 175 was a double bottom. I like the higher lows off double bottoms. Let's keep it simple. Although I wrote on my iPad, because I had 181 written down, then we jammed up to 190. Once you make another level up, I tend to want to look another level up, which is the previous close at 185. So I'll put that one in there as well, the 185 previous close, to look for dips at that price. But the higher low after a double bottom, yeah, I just like that setup. So let's go Tesla. If you start breaking out, Tesla has a way of letting you in if you miss the break. So if it trend upside, I think we're okay. And I did look. I didn't actually have a short setup idea. And then the first thing I did was like, where's Affirm? Affirm's almost at 44 again. So that's actually that big level the last couple of weeks here that Affirm has dropped precipitously from. It's like 44.5 up top, and we're going to be there at the open. So if it fails this top, I would take a shot here. But you don't let it break out and keep breaking out. Like it's at the level now. If it breaks out, I'm getting out.
Back to.
All right, let's get some analyst moves for you to kick things off this morning. Upgrades and downgrades. Adara has that over at the screen.
Enphase, top of the list here after its earnings report yesterday, up 16%. Here, also getting an upgrade here from Oppenheimer. Spotify getting an upgrade from DZ Bank with a price target of 240. Chipotle getting an upgrade from BTIG Research. This one trading a little bit higher today. And Dollar Tree getting an upgrade from Gordon Haskett. In terms of downgrades, BJ's Wholesale, also a Gordon Haskett move. This one a downgrade. This one's interesting with New York Community Bank. So this one trading higher today, but JP Morgan, one of a series of negative analyst notes here for this company right now. Fortinet also higher on the day, but getting a downgrade from HSBC Securities. This one reported this week. And last but not least, Goldman Sachs downgrading at VF Corporation, guys.
Downgrading Fortinet, huh? It's like that. Okay. Downgrade FTNT. Cybersecurity names are good, but maybe they ran a little bit too far. Report earnings. Hey, that worked out if you powered that one upside. But they're going, and we're talking about any cybersecurity name. They're all rallying. at this point. They just pull up a chart of like PanW or Zscaler or CrowdStrike, the ones we usually talk about. Breakout on earnings. Unfortunately, the volume's not too great with this. Otherwise, you would add this to the litany of earnings plays that we think are solid, because I would have liked this for a continuation. But yeah, it's 240,000 volume, 40-cent spread. Maybe it gives you a gift and sort of pulls back into previous breakout prices, like 70 stands out there, 68. But we always talk about volume mattering a heck of a lot as a trader. It's not enough that you reported earnings or that you have a key level, or that even that you like the stock. It doesn't make a difference if you're a day trader. You've got to be able to make some executions and have a reasonable spread and find risk to reward and all that good stuff. At the open, possibly things could change on Fortinet, another strong name in the cybersecurity space. But if you've been watching any of these, the rich just keep getting richer in this space, because Palo Alto, all right, when I sat down, it was actually a little bit past this high, the 52-week. I'm going to open up at fresh highs. Let's just very likely open up at fresh highs. Now I'm just jinxing it because it looked like it was clear this 352 when I sat down. But another gap up there on sympathy. The rich keep getting richer.
Yeah, Chipotle is a great stock there. Fortinet doesn't make any sense to me either. We've talked about PanW over and over again. That's the only cybersecurity stock that I own, and I was just lucky enough to honestly. I mean, we always bash guys like Kramer and stuff like that, but like that was been a stock that he's talked about for a very, very long time. Here, I'll call it up for you. It's Palo Alto. If you keep on saying PanW, that was really confusing to me as well. When I first started trading the name, I was like, PanW. But it's obviously networks. So as you come back up to the upside, we were here when they reported this number. Like, this reminds me of that Roblox base, that 40. I mean, the Uber base down there where we got long was that 30 or 35 or something like that, and then flush down in, and this is where we talked about on the market recap show. This is Chris Bretcher all the time when he's on. He says this is what's the greatest call. So thank you to him for that. Well, I mean, I made it, but thank you to him for talking about it and working us through it. It was down at the 50-period moving average, and look at this name. Just continues to bump up. This is best of breed, so any weakness, I think you got to go over to PanW, but of course, on a good quarter from Fortinet, they're up again. So, like, I don't know, man. This goes to Brendan and I talk on the podcast about never selling any good companies that you own, or even ETFs that you like, because ultimately a lot of these names will just continue to work. If we have a recession, you buy more. If we have COVID, that's just the best buying opportunity of all time, apparently. Like, so you got to be able to be flush a little bit, have some money on the sidelines for if and when, you know, there's a worldwide pandemic again or something like that. You want to be buying these dips. But then again, you can always just spend that
Hopefully
government
not.
stimmies on those as well when that comes through. I was actually saying that last night. I was talking with one of my friends that works at Scotiabank, and he's working from home and all that. And he's like, you know, how did you find working from home? And I said, that's hilarious, my guy. We didn't spend one day at home during the pandemic. Every single day the market was open, my butt was sitting right in this seat.
Actually, that's not true, because remember, we had the whole distancing thing we had to do.
Well, I was here. I was in this seat.
Well,
I mean,
okay, it was the right chair, but we had this weird thing we were doing where it was like you were over. It was
right.
Dude, I actually thought it was messed up, because we'd be talking to each other like the same way we're on cameras, and I'm turning and Sean's there and his back is to us. And but we did it anyways.
Yeah.
There was a plan if we were forced to go from home to figure out how to stream it. Like I remember, because we got it set up. I had a cube. I was like, I'm going to do it from this spot.
I never.
I
think it's because you live further. But
I still have the webcam somewhere.
Yeah.
No, it's not even a good one. It's like really cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it's a $20 webcam.
Yeah,
Randy,
it's
Neil still has a webcam there. Now there goes the whole shh.
Randy's not a snitch.
Please make sure that Neil brings it back.
Randy's not a snitch.
Randy's here. Thank you, Randy. There's a little low float name running around here. A few people mentioning this. Holo, H-O-L-O, up 150%. $4 coming into play here. This is 1.2 million shares. I don't see anything on this as far as a news story or any reason why. One of those reverse splits, apparently, that's chosen today to go. So just be aware, 1.2 million shares to the upside. Let's get into everything you need to know. If you haven't done so, we'll get to the rundown here in a second. Sharif's going to kick it off, as always, with a look at the futures.
49.75, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday. Look where we are again. 49.91 3/4 the high. We are knocking on the door of that 5,000 level. Whether we see it today or not, we'll have to wait and see. So let's say 5,000 resistance, and then we're going to go ahead and say 49.50 as support. We couldn't break through that level yesterday.
A lot to understand this morning. If you haven't done so, grab that, use the QR code, or go to watchlist.tradertv.live, enter your email address, and then that just shows up every single morning, has everything you need to know on it. In the pre-market every single day. Let's go to Snapchat to kick things off. Downside in a big way this morning. It was ugly right out of the gate. There's no bounce for this. I was reading an analyst note this morning on this, kind of comparing it to all the other tech names, and specifically the ones that we saw come out around the same time. And Snapchat has just never taken off, never gotten any footing, never really been able to, use the ad side of things to monetize it. So here we are again this morning with a huge move down after earnings.
Yeah, tough look here, Brendo. They missed on the top line, but they did narrow their loss a little bit. Last year on the quarter, they reported a loss of $288 million. This time it was only $248. The guide was not good either. They're looking at the lower end of the range expected by analysts. However, their global daily active users continue to grow. 414 million global daily active users, I should say, versus 412 expected. So growth, but profitability still evades them.
Yeah, it's sad. Unfortunately, right back to $10. Are in this range here, $12 to $10. If you zoom way out, this is a weekly chart. There's a lot of congestion down here between 12 and call it 859 even, going all the way back to 2020, guys, for Snap.
Oh, snap. We're going to say that pun a few times here. So I was in, I was in this once. Dang it, this scaling on the chart. I'll leave it like this, you guys.
Oh, damn, I just got in too. What happened?
It just hit the 12s. So I'm going to give you the local bottom first so that you guys know where the out is. This pre-market low, it's not this wick. It's 1171. If we break 1170, I want to get out. It's going to open up short sell restricted unless... nothing is taking it to less than 10% down at the open. Like, someone would have to come in and declare they're buying the company. Even then, that probably wouldn't do it because it wouldn't be enough premium. So I think when it's SSR, I'm looking for a bounce. A pre-market bottom is essentially the same bottom aftermarket. When you think about what's going on here, you got to be able to solve this advertising issue for them, or someone's going to do it for them. I.e., they're going to continue to fall and someone's going to buy them, and that company will try to figure it out. It's just they're running into trouble. They're not as good at optimizing in terms of directing ads, which leads them to essentially having bigger clients, right? Like, they don't do as many small clients the way that Meta and Google are able to, and that can be a bit of a trouble for them. So again, I didn't think necessarily when you read the report or read the summary of the report that it screamed 31% down, but it's not the first time it's done it. That said, looking for an SSR bounce type play. I think when you go 30 cents 1-to-1 down here, you've got a local top at the 50 level, so I'd like it to carry into the 1250, try to hold on to a piece for a bit of a squeeze play, because I think that's what we're looking at here. It's, will shorts be covering its 9% short float if it holds this low of the day? So I'm not endorsing a company saying it's all great and well good or anything. This is just a typical, it's down very far. Let's see if it can hold the low bounce play.
All right, I'm working on the sticky note to get it out, but that's pretty much exactly what we had here. Rob, Neil has a webcam at home, I think, as well. All right, so we're already long 12, and we want to.
It's cold.
We want to.
No, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, obviously. Neil, I think everybody realizes.
I'm scared. I'm scared. Exactly. That's why I outed myself.
Yeah, you outed yourself for sure there. That was big. Okay, so we're already long. So we're long right now. We wrote down that 1170 as well. If you look down here at, I don't know if this 200 period will load on here or not, but that's where the 200 period moving
1150,
average.
yeah.
Yeah, so there it is. So that's something. We're going to say the same stuff, but that's going to be a good level. we were long down here on one of their last quarters, so right into here on this miss on basically the same type of thing. But you guys know we were out here on 17 when it was basing. We pretty much got out of, I'll have to double check, but I was going to say at least 75% of the position. So is it an average in down here? Probably not. I mean, obviously letting it bleed back in is not great, but I want to see what it does at this 1150, and then we'll figure it out from there. So Snapchat, definitely a disappointing move there, but we are an amazing 3 pennies in the money right now, and it's just too bad that it didn't get down there. And under my breath, I was like, oh, snap. I thought that we could have continued to make that move in. And then the next thing, all I had was like visions of me screwing this trade up like I've done many times, where we get in too early and then we punch out and then it rips up once the market opens. So it's 9:05 right now. Lots of time to breathe on Snapchat. Let's just keep on doing that. Stick to our plan. My next buy is in and around, like we said, that 1170 area is going to have to hold. So we'll see if we can get down there, and then we'll assess the position at that point. But for right now, Snapchat, tons of volume. Palantir did 400 million yesterday. That's not going to happen on Snapchat, but this is going to be a big stock today. So it has to be on your radar if you're going to be a day trader like us here. And hey, man, 10 million will, before open.
I think it does. It could do 100. That's possible. It's not going to do Palantir numbers. But there was a question in the chat that I just wanted to. I answered in the chat. It's YS Magoric. But why is pre-market trading allowed, and how does it work? So here at Real Trading, we can trade in the pre-market, and it's almost no difference. There are very small differences in what kinds of flattened keys you can use. Maybe a gateway or two isn't available, but realistically, it's basically the same thing for us. Every broker is different. I cannot speak to your broker's rules. Some brokers you can start at 4 a.m., some at 6 a.m., some at 7 a.m. Some you can't trade until 9:30. Depends on your account. You've got to ask your own broker. Maybe you have a few gateways that you can't use. Maybe you can't use market orders. That's very common, but you've got to ask your own broker. We can't speak for anybody else. We're here at Real Trading, and I can tell you what the rules are for us, and it's essentially no difference for us. There's like one stop order that we can't use out of our 3. There's maybe a gateway or two.
But like that goes back to like that broker thing, right?
Yeah, again, you got to know your broker.
Yeah, they may not be executable in that time. The only thing I would say to add to that is just be careful about the pre-market or the post-market, because liquidity dries up, and the next thing you know, bids are pulled and your stop orders are hit, when potentially that wouldn't have happened if the real market was open, because algos would have stepped in or something like that. So just be careful with that. But exactly, the good thing about AI is most places will have a little chat bot.
Yes.
So you could just go in there and say, hey, yo, pre-market trading, what's good? If you say that to the chatbot, I want to know what the response is.
We have at Real Trading, in our PPROA platform, there is actually an AI.
So ask it that.
And it's called Leonardo, which is
go to
cool.
Neil's screen. We're going to ask our AI. Say,
what time can I start?
Trading.
I don't know.
This is not gonna. I mean, if this works, then that's amazing.
All right, so what time can I start trading NASDAQ? Leonardo is typing now.
Leonardo's typing.
It's not ChatGPT or anything.
This is so exciting.
Trading on the NASDAQ can start.
Okay, no. That's okay.
Please note this is the time within traders can continue or independently try to cover their open positions. Oh, I see what. Yeah, they're.
So it's referencing you to the market guide instead of spitting out the market guide.
Essentially, go to the market guide.
Sorry, Leonardo, but.
Okay. We just got this in the latest version a few days ago. So we were testing it live. Okay, let's see what's going on with Ford.
Hotel rooms. Let's talk some Ford here. Still holding on to 1275, 1280, speaking of Randy. Better than expected results across the board. I mean, Sharif and I were just talking about a few of these models still. Like the higher end version of the Bronco is $130,000 in Canada. Even the one below that is $90,000 for a Ford Bronco.
The Raptor class of those, like anybody who knows the F-150 knows how much the F-150 Raptor costs. It's like very similar to the TRX and the Ram. That's their specialty brand. But you look at the depreciation value within a couple of years with some of these cars. That's what concerns me. But with respect to their earnings today, Brendo beat on the top and bottom line. Earnings, guidance ahead of expectations as well. But the issue here is they continue to make money from one segment. That's the commercial truck segment, the one that makes the F-150 and the 250. They're losing money on their Ford Blue. They're losing money on their electric unit. So we're really going to have to wait and see if they can actually diversify a bit. Apparently, they're supposed to focus a lot on hybrids this year, rather than going fully electric. So we'll have to see how that plan works out for them.
We were talking about that, I think it was GM actually, it wasn't Ford, that dealerships were actually asking the company to go down that road further because customers are looking for more EVs or hybrids than EVs, guys.
Oh, it did?
Ford.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. It's like saying, Randy had a thing where he'd come by and he would just say Ford every now and then. Hey, everyone likes a special dividend, right? So if you are a shareholder as of, what is it, the 16th? I want to say it's the 16th of February, and then March 1st, they're going to pay an 18-cent special dividend in addition to the dividend they already pay. Shout out to Ford over GM for that, although GM's moved a little bit more. But hey, Ford it's not a lot of volume, but Ford tends to have a pretty tradable range. The only thing I'll look for is previous resistance turning into support, like my gig. I do like the local level here at 1245 a little bit more than I like buying the top, because the last time I traded Ford, I remember it was a gap up and then a patient dip to the downside. And catching that bottom required you not to be early, because Ford's the kind of stock you want to get it within 5 cents. That's just the way that it moves. Like you don't want to be like 20 cents away from like the good entry on Ford, because it might only then move 30 or 40 cents for you. Probably a little bit more today, but I kind of like that 45 level a little bit more than I would right up top here at 70.
I just realized I didn't put a bid in yet on Ford, but okay, so I just did now. So it's a sticky note is out 1 minute ago. You can go find it right here. I have Ford down here at 1250. I thought it was a good quarter, a strong guide. Broke above this key level. I'll show you that in a chart in a minute. The ultimate, though, if we ever got anywhere near, we put it in here, anywhere near 12, but I say the same thing there, is that you have to be patient with this, because there's no way I'm going in here and buying the top. I think Ford is still a name that I'm going to get out of, I feel like, very, very soon. It basically made that move that I thought, we talked about this yesterday. Remember we said about 6%? I mean, the math was right, because it's math. But, up into here, into 13 bucks, I thought we could get to here. So we got it, we did it, that's it, man. The expected move was right around here. Came in pretty much as expected. You get the move right up into this level, but here's 1250. So there's the break right there that really got it going. Now you're going to be up here, so this could be the top. So I feel like you want to play back into that break to see if it holds. So we'll take whatever your size wants to be. I'll probably take like 20% of what I would really take. Then we'll see if it holds. Then we can get into 100%. But a fall back into this 12-ish area where we were topping out before the report, 1220, 1215, something like that, we have to go. That has to be a go spot for the long. You're up 6%. I mean, unless something comes out about them, I can't see them going red today, which would mean we'd have to break into here. So let's just see. If the market completely collapses, then I'm going to have different stocks on board. I promise you that. So NASDAQ right now up 0.55, ES up 0.39. We could break down the quarter as much as you want. I'm here to trade. So I'm just going to give you the levels that I'm going to trade off of. If you want to get all the financials, we have the watch list. You can go find that somewhere else on Twitter. But Shreve's already mentioned it. Their combustible engine, working. We'll see if the EV side can go as well. The Mach-E, I'm not in love with that. The F-150, I don't hear as much talk about it anymore. The Lightning, still pretty expensive. But anyways, special dividend is nice. We saw what that did with Meta. Obviously, Meta was starting a dividend, a little different situation. But it's only 18 cents for Ford shareholders.
If you own 1,000 shares, what are you getting, like 20? I don't know, whatever the math works out.
Yeah,
20 shares.
So it's... Well, 20 shares.
Oh, if you have 1,000 shares.
I don't think I think they just pay that out in cash. I don't think.
That's true. Yeah. I'm just saying the equivalent. Like, it's a very small percentage. I don't know what the percent is on that 18 cents.
18 cents on 12.
It's like 1.5 or something.
Yeah, it's like, anyways, decent. So they're getting a little bit of a bump with that. But Ford is a day trade, and I'm going to be exiting Ford and probably buying some more Tesla at some point today.
Brought to you by Hedgeye. Generate alpha, and with Hedgeye's core macro investing package, you'll get Hedgeye's market playbook and quantitative trade signals every single day before the market opens. Go to hedgeye.com uber.com/TTV. You can use the link in the description. It's also on the watch list as well for anyone who got that this morning. Let's talk about Uber. Before we do that, though, what's coming up this morning on the midday show?
We've been talking about earnings all week, Brendo, and today we're going to be specifically talking about the earnings momentum strategy. So make sure to tune in 11 o'clock with Adair and I will be talking about that.
Topical for the season we are in. Let's go to Uber downside right now. I was just checking the call. I still see some comments, but we'll check on the actual timing of that. But the CEO, first off, coming out saying that profitable growth at scale until you get down to the freight numbers, which were a problem once again, seems to be a bit of a trend here, down 17%, still 1.28 billion for gross bookings for Uber Freight.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head there, Brendo. Freight, the only declining sector in Uber. You had mobility grow 34% year over year. Good there. Delivery grew 6% year over year. So a lot more focus on experiences and service rather than goods. We've been hearing a lot about that with respect to the economy. But wow, what a beat here for Uber. $1.4 billion in profit. Compare that to last year on the quarter when we reported $595 million. Revenue continues to grow. Overall revenue 15%. It's a good look here for Uber. However, the guide was a little late.
Yeah, if you are watching this morning, the last comment I see was about 8:40. The call itself actually started at 8 o'clock, so should be over by now. But yeah, downside after that quick reversal.
Yeah, the downside here, because I mean, whatever. You read a report and it looks good, but the stock just made a bit of a run here. Look at it off the 200-period moving average, just for an example of a strong-looking stock off of that, the simple moving average on the daily. But that looks like a rejection of a break of the high. And the day is young, so anything can happen from here. But that top at 70.5, that close yesterday, you have a rejection candle coming in, and I tend to think usually when you do that, you pull back into the significant support levels. So the levels are what matter. The last range that we broke, top here, 67.5, let's call it. It's like 71. Then I look back into 67.5. I just look at this, about $1 away from it right now. You get back into that range. I thought I had drawn, there we go. Just for myself, I'll put that in there. If we get back into that range, I'll look for a bounce play on Uber. There's no such thing as good or bad earnings. There's just the numbers come out and the stock reacts how it wants to. And your job is to look for places to buy where supply meets the demand, and then you can bounce from there. If we break that level, I know I like 65. That's way too obvious. If you get down there, I will be absolutely shocked if Uber trades at 65 today. But if it gets to that price level, I'd probably take another shot at the long. The only place I would have been thinking about a fade is back up through if it tries to go green, and we're way too far at the bottom. I'm not shorting lows on something that seemed like a good report like Uber. So first ditch bounce, probably going to try it at the open if it shows any signs of life at that 67.5.
NQ touching all-time highs. You're right, and your egg, and that's just a reason to get long, not to worry about flushes, I don't think. But you could flush off the open. I don't really see a reason for anything to flush off the open. I mean, Google's higher right now, breaking through 145. Apple continues to go. Thank you so much to Brian Shannon messaging me here and just saying about how, the show, the market recap show last night, how good it was. Whatever it does. It sounds like I'm like pumping my own horn here, but I am, because without us explaining it, there's only a couple hosts here, so shout out to everybody that continues to watch it and support it. And even like yesterday, like I said, I didn't even get home till 10:30. My family met me here after the recap show when me and Fabian are the only people here. So we're doing it for you. So thank you for the continued support. Look, on the sticky note is Uber. Uber was on the sticky note yesterday at $68 and or $69, and that was a monster. We closed the day at $70.50. This was one of the top stocks here yesterday. Now, this is the problem with trading today is we love the 68 level. So we're going to try to get long down here at the 68 level. We're going to get long, it looks like. But the thing is, on earnings, like we just mentioned, I'm not an analyst. Like, what did they miss the numbers? Like, whatever. It's down 3%. You have to respect that. I still like the company. I didn't see anything there that was wrong. I think the pandemic really changed how everybody, I mean, Uber's already, like I said, you know, I didn't buy Uber, like see all this base down here, what we were talking about, it's actually lower than this, in here into 30. Here it is right here, it was this base that we're talking about, $30. When it broke here on earnings, that's where we got all this garbage out of here. Then you could get all this out of here, down here, that's $48. But you're well up, man. You don't even have, this is a daily chart, you have like 6 red days maybe in the last 20. So yeah, today it's going to pull back on earnings, but is that just a pullback, or was there something that they didn't like that does bring this back into the 50-period moving average? I'm staying long Uber. We did get some out up here. We talked about that already on the bump up for the S&P inclusion. What is that? Oh, that's, they have those little protein things now, don't they? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So anyways, as Uber makes a move back in here, I think it's a buy at $68, but I'm not actually sitting there with a bid because we could break it. That wick down there is 67.50. So I have Uber up beside me here because I want to watch Uber and I want to watch Google early, and then of course Snapchat. So those are going to be the 3 major names for me. Ford will be on the radar as well, but it's going to be Uber at that bottom to see if it holds. It's going to be Snapchat at these bottoms where we're kind of at right now at 1190, and then it's going to be Google at 144. Those are really the names that I'm looking at. So with only 10 minutes to go, let's get ready to get locked and loaded here. I do have a couple bids out, but not one on Uber.
All right, let's go to Alibaba here, 4.8% now. We did break that 75, trying to hold underneath it to the downside. There's a couple things to note here. This probably the biggest one, 25 billion worth of a share buyback approved in this earnings report. There was some good, some bad. Kind of a middle of the road report overall. That caused that move initially higher all the way up through 82, but right back down now.
Look, Brendo, they missed on the top line, so they didn't actually achieve the amount of revenue that the street was looking for. The good news is, though, Brendo mentioned that buyback program. There's also insider buying here. Joe Tsai and Jack Ma buying about $200 million worth of this stock in January. Maybe propping it up. They're really focusing here on profitability in their e-commerce business as well as their cloud. They see the most margins possible there, and that's where they want to focus on. Let's see what the rest of the year brings.
Yeah, it's one of those days where this one not necessarily leading some of the other ones, as we've seen over the past few days. It's been kind of a group movement type of issue, but not today. Just Baba doing its own thing.
So, yeah, it was the thing I was eating for anyone that was asking in the chat. It was like this little protein muffin thing. I just thought it looked like a mini brownie, but it wasn't a brownie at all. Alibaba, what goes up must come down. This will be disappointing. And then ultimately, revenue growth has got to be there, man. Like when you're thinking for these tech names, you want this double digit, and you get punished for being single digits. 1%, 2%, 3% type growth is not going to cut it, especially in your key sectors. So that's probably part of the reason why it's down. The good news is the Chinese government is talking about ways to stimulate them, and you're still above the 50-period moving average, which does I'm not saying it puts a floor on the stock, but that 73, it's like 30 or 40 on this daily chart here, and this is an SMA on the daily chart. I think that gives you a bit of, it's not a line in the sand, but it gives you a support level underneath what would have been the obvious one at 75, which has been broken. So I work back to the 73. Again, when you sit down and you write your note and you prepare for things, there's levels that I thought would have been good for some dip buys. I had 77.40 written down, and it's if you can hold that level, suddenly that turns into a resistance spot for me. So I have to be able to adjust that. Unfortunately, but it's just about price action. The next level down is going to be the 50-period on the daily. Maybe it can give you a little bit of a bounce there. It's hard to like shorts right into the 50-period. It would have to get back up to that 77.40, which I had as a key level on my notes. So I'll wait around for that. Just be patient with Alibaba. It's down 4.5%, and the volume is going to be tremendous today. It's going to be another one of the relative volume leaders. But before we got to Roblox, I feel like we're not going to get a chance to talk about Palantir, so I'm just going to quickly run through some things. The 52-week high on Palantir was 21.85. It closed at 21.87 with a mini break on earnings yesterday that ended up pulling back. So it pulled back just above 22. The lower high came in, and then right at that previous 52-week high. So just barely making a new 52-week high close. I think it challenges that at the open. A failed breakout here would set up like any kind of a failed breakout at 22. Any failed break, I like the retracement immediate short there, where the top is 22.19, 22.20, let's call it, short on the way back through 22, put your stop at the high as long as it didn't make a fresh high, and then just look for the scalp trade in the pre-market low. So that's a setup that I'm looking for here on Palantir. There's a lot to watch at the open. BABA, unless it gets all the way to 77.40, gonna have to be patient waiting for that 50 period to come in. When things move in the pre-market, sometimes the levels you like aren't there at 9:30.
Let's talk Roblox. Nice move to the upside here this morning, coming off their numbers as well. Going back to, what time was that? About 8 o'clock, I guess they came out. Trying to hold on to 44 here. If you go to the daily chart, you'll see why. This was one of a few decent numbers for them. 25% bookings growth in Q4. I mean, everything to the upside right across, including full year 2024 revenue expectations, 3.3 to 3.4 billion. Bookings 4.14 to 4.24 billion, both higher.
Yeah, Brendo, it was a beat on top and bottom line here, and the revenue really growing, 1.13 billion on the quarter. Expectation was 1.08 billion. The daily active users continue to grow aggressively year over year, about 71.5 million daily active users. That's a jump of 22% year over year on the quarter from last year. So nice pop on the stock. Let's see what it does the rest of the day.
Yeah, a ton of volume behind this already as well. 3.2 million here, guys, heading towards the open. Couple minutes to go.
Tons of volume. The relative, we said this at right when we started, man, like the relative volume is going to be off the charts on a few individual names as the NASDAQ's about to clear the high of the day. Sheesh, NASDAQ, what are you doing? Chill, Winston. Roblox, I do love, we talk about the setup all the time. This is one I like, but it's about $1 away from this local high. It's 43 change. So if Roblox wants to pull back into what was clearly a supply zone, if you can't see that, on the daily, that's where I want to look. It's a bit of a gap fill. If you look at your 3-minute chart, you're like, what the heck's out there? Pull out the daily chart, you can see what's at that 43 area. So I like Roblox as a dip into that price. It's about the price action over here, just because I always want to know this. And Roblox came out a little bit later this morning. It's only 4% short float. So it's not tremendous, but it's not zero either. But a dip into that 43, that's the level I like here on RBLX.
Sorry I missed that Bob talk.
Yeah.
I ran into the lawyer, and I had to explain myself. No, just joking. No, I was getting a coffee, and I ran into him, and then the rest, I can't stop talking all the time. So, all right, $74. I really like Alibaba down there. It's a level that we wrote on the sticky note. Let's see if it holds. It's up on here again. Snapchat, Google, Uber, Alibaba, we like them all. It's 927 right now coming through. Look, man, I've been talking about it for days. I actually even just tweeted out at all of our friends, man, at all of our friends right here on Twitter. Whoops. Right here. I shouted out to, here it is, Trader Danielle, Trader Tammy, Alpha Trends. He's my friend, Alpha Friends. Brian, we've been talking about this $40 base for a very, very long time on Roblox. Every single guest we had on, we talked about it. So that's what that is. I really like that level down there on Roblox, but that level's not there now, so what you gonna do about it? We already went up to 47, we're back into 44 at retracement. I was gonna say, when there's a gap, come on, Brian. It's wait for VWAP, and there it is right there at 44. So if anybody followed that little trick, you did get it, but 44 VWAP it's actually 44.30. So the spread right now is 30 cents. It could come right back in. Snapchat's getting going already, man. We did not get a lower bid. We were waiting, like we said, in the 70s. That didn't come through as Snapchat goes right back up to the upside. There is only a minute left, and Darryl will be rushing over to that without falling or actually rushing, because
don't run.
It's not a rush. The worst case
things
scenario is the bell does not get rung, and we'll throw something at it.
The last time I missed.
Extreme accuracy. All right, here we go. Only 40 seconds. Now you may have to.
I don't actually have
hustle a
anything
little
that
bit.
would be appropriate to throw at that bell if we needed to.
Yeah, we can't throw the 8-ball. That's too
No,
much of a nice
the last
prize.
time I think I
Oh,
threw
I
the
know what I
stuff
could
down.
throw at that thing. Dun, 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 dun. What's up, Russell Jackson? We've still got the Vegemite. It's
How
only
dare you throw the
It's only
Vegemite.
4 years old. Well, because
doesn't-
I don't.
it
I
doesn't
think
go
it's
bad.
indestructible.
I don't think it goes
I
back.
think this is plastic. I don't think it's glass. I think we'd be fine with that. Try it.
The loser of the
Watch
Super
out, Adara. No.
The loser of the Super Bowl bet has to eat Vegemite. That should be what we do, because that's
Yeah, but
it
I
is
mean,
a few years old.
that is a decent. Yeah, that could
oh
kill
yeah,
somebody.
in 3, 2, and 1,
Put the
bring it.
Vegemite. Get this Vegemite out of my damn hand.
No, like I don't think you'd actually get sick. I think it's
No. You Vegemite being only 5 years old. No, that's like it's in its
it's like
prime.
a Twinkie.
Right there. Okay.
lasts forever.
What are we looking at me here? Roblox, Uber down through 68 right now, so we're gonna have to watch that. Snapchat is bouncing around $12. Not open yet. It's not open yet. There's not enough volume to show that there's
not
been
yet.
an opening candle. Quickly, so it might tank on open. So I want to watch out for that. I do have it up still. Ford not doing anything, not open as well. All the NASDAQ names not open. Well, all the-
Alibaba has not open either.
Right, so sorry, all the New York names not open. NASDAQ gonna fall down in. We did see some people talk about a little bit of a flush, possibly because the NASDAQ is at all-time
Apple.
highs. But there you go, Apple taking out highs, 191.
it's funny, we sort of said-
We love Apple.
You know, we were sort of joking around about Apple being like, yeah, that's your safe play today, not worrying about the crazy volume. That looks like a legitimate dip right to 190 and then a rip to 191. So it legitimately bounced there. Palantir,
Oh, man,
is
I
that
wanna
even?
buy it,
Palantir's
man. I wanna buy it.
open,
I
but
wanna
it
buy
didn't make
already.
that break or attempt at the 52-week high. So Snapchat's at 12. It's not really doing a heck of a
Oh,
lot of
shit,
anything.
what happened?
We got to be
Oh,
careful.
Snapchat. We got out somewhere on Snapchat, dude. We just got a monster print up there. Oh, it
15s.
opened up there.
Oh, the opening print. Okay, we got
So
the,
I didn't get the opening print. I got it on
I got
FX.
15.
Me too. I got 14. You were waiting at
No, I was at NASDAQ. I got it on
Okay, so same
NASDAQ.
thing. Okay, so good. So basically, Snapchat opened up there. I'm guessing in and around high 12s. Neil and I both get a print there, so that's why you gotta wait out. But I only got out at 10%, so it's gonna be disastrous if it goes down. There's no doubt about that. All right, so we do have a new position right here. I did mention we wanted to get Google. We wanted it a little bit lower. But when there's a gap, hit the VWAP. So it gaps down on a name that we like. And shout out to Brian Shannon. The thing about me is I told him I'm stealing that. So, but I'd have to give credit.
No,
There it is. Right there.
There's
Okay.
a method to stealing. You got
Yeah. No, I've already told him. I said I like it. I'm stealing it. Just like Tammy says, GTFO, get the funds out. Funds.
That's what that
funds.
stands for?
Yeah. So it's like on Roblox, I said GTFO at that 47, 48 level on that
Samuel
move up.
L.
Okay.
Jackson had a great line about that. And then when
Another
you do
out on
that,
Google,
you're
by the
making
way.
the other person say that in their head, so you might as well say it yourself.
Yeah, that's why it's good,
It
right?
is good. Because you make the other person say it.
Yeah.
I got Roblox at that 43, but it's screaming back in. Just very quickly, I didn't want to disturb.
Roblox 43.
Roblox bounced off
what?
43, went all the way to 70s. I got
write that
filled at 60s, and it's right back down into 43. So this is
That was
looking
a
a
good
little
one,
bit
Roblox. Wow,
heavy.
43.
Just gonna get a stop under that 43 level, move it up a little bit tighter. So we got the first dip by there. Snapchat's back above 12. So when I got that opening fill, I gotta zoom back in for you guys. Sorry. When I got the opening fill, I got right back on the bid underneath support. In front of support on Snapchat, and it just regained the
man,
12.
Uber
So now
was
it's
a
starting to
mistake.
go two set up. So I'm gonna get another fill here close to that opening top at 12.15 if we can, and then we will go hunting higher on a potential squeeze play. Palantir might have missed this. If this broke the high, yeah, okay. So
Snapchat
it
is
did break the high and
going.
come back down. So I was supposed to look short if it broke the high and failed, but I don't want to chase it all the way down here.
Guys, it's another one and another one and
Another one.
all right. Snapchat, 15, 20 cents. We just got some more. I got to zoom in. We just got some more out at the top. That's a good one, man. 25 cents in the money. We got some more out on Google. So we're going to go 2 for 2 early here. But the thing about Google is it just bounced again off 145. So I'm going to put another offer in and around 145. We got 145 flat there. But here's the pullback down in. So, wow. It's really getting going here on Snapchat. I'm really, really happy with this trade because I know there's a lot of you guys that are in this, and probably because we talked about the volume. Yesterday on Palantir, we made the same similar comment that if you're not trading it, you're definitely wrong. And there goes Snapchat right now back up to the upside. I'm sorry if you guys are short. There's no way in hell I would have been short, which is why I mentioned I'm not going short on that name unless if it blows up and it extends up here, fine.
I actually had a short level, and it was like, I think it was like $13.50 or $13.70. It was close to $14 when I was going over the chart for some reason. I'll have to look back at it, but it was far enough away that it didn't really matter. Roblox is running into some trouble here.
Might break.
The market just reversed a little bit here, so if you're catching a falling knife like I am, I'm gonna probably trail this to 95 because I see a buyer there that if they're gonna hold it, great, but it's looking a little bit heavier than I would have liked on Roblox on that bounce. So like the market is pulling back. I'm gonna take the money and run on this trade if it can't hold 44. I want to test the opening range top there. Palantir just got to 22. Okay, so here comes another run at that high. Yesterday's top was 22.18, I want to say. So 22.18. If it breaks 22, fails at 22.18, then I would look for a quick little reversal scalp trade. Snapchat got to the quarters. I took one more out there, but my eyes are on Palantir now.
We actually, we got an out on Snapchat at 30. We got an out on Snapchat at 35. And wow, that was a good one there on Snapchat as it continues to go. I am getting ready to go long on Palantir. So a breakthrough 22, which is going to happen any minute, which just happened. Where's my punch long? Oh, I was waiting for 22.01 to break. Okay. Sometimes I do that. We talked about that on the show, right? It's like sometimes you'll break through. I mean, it's going to look genius now because we just failed and came back in there. But ultimately, I want to wait to see a little bit more of a 22 break there. So we just failed back into 2180s, right? So, all right, I'm still watching this because I will get executed into this trade once it goes, and I want to try to hold it a little bit. Like Neil mentioned, that high yesterday, here, we can zoom in on it. The high yesterday was all the way up there. So, I mean, I just feel like if we break 22, we probably go up to that area and test it. So I don't know why, like it's having a problem at 01s here, which is, there it is. Okay, so now we're in. And here we go. It's Palantir. We're in it. And there it is. Almost shoots almost directly, guys, up into that level as it was written. So nice move. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we're, all right. Holy shnikes. Right now. That's another one right there for you all, y'all, on Palantir as holy shoot. We hit it with some shares right there, guys. So let's go. Right there, immediately 15 cents in the money, and your boy is starting to get out. Like I said, man, there's a nice move up, and I'm just going to start piecing this bad boy out because why the hell not? When you're in one, and we are in one right now with Palantir. Man, it's day after day after day after day. Does it end in Y? Yes, it does, and we are here to trade, and that's another banger daily goal right there. What time? Checks watch, 9:37. All right, we're done. Good day. See you guys tomorrow, but I'm still going to be here. Don't worry.
We ain't going anywhere. Come on. You
Can't,
know
man.
what's up.
Where the viewers
Roblox continues to go. I took my dollar and ran on it, but it's continuing to press higher. Uber, you pick the stocks you want to watch at the open, but if you were watching the morning show, which you should have been, I'm talking about before we actually opened up, dipped right into that 67.5 level, and now you're at 69. So Uber taking the stairs to the upside. Alibaba, I thought we'd get a little bit more of a push to grab the long in Alibaba. Unfortunately, that just never came into play. So I like it. It's back above 65 even. I do want to try to join the party, but nice liquidity bounce over the 75 level. I'm holding on to some snap. I want to make sure if it does a squeeze even higher, like 1250, it's down 30%, right? Like 12 to 1250. Like why couldn't it go even more than that? So let's see what happens. But Baba taking the stairs to the upside. Let's see if we can hold a 75 for a dip after that. And I did say under my breath Meta because Meta is, I don't have a pun for it. Meta's flying 2% to the upside. This is getting a little bit out of hand on Meta. I'm missing a bit of data here. 460 looking dip. Previous highs are always going to be the support zone that we like. But Alibaba's the one I want to join.
Holy shit. This is just like, I don't know. Yeah, thank you, Sharif. I mean, this is honestly, guys, it's just insane. Alibaba long 74. Do you want to go look what that looks like? Uber long 68. And the thing is, they were just there in the pre-market. That's the freaking problem. Look at Alibaba long 74. Like, now that's $2 in the money. Look at Uber long 68. We just talked about that. It's $1.50 in the money. But they opened up too low. We should have just spanked it. But you know what? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we've got Palantir. Palantir, Mr. Carp. Here he comes to save the day again and again and again and again. This was the #1 stock yesterday. Look what's happening today. Huge move to the upside. Easily the #1. Snapchat, I mean, Snapchat's going fine. That's fine. Google, fine. But this Palantir trade, guys, I mean, sheesh, honestly, like we didn't even like, if you're not punching long, like that 22 long there, I mean, we knew it had the juice. It had the juice yesterday. I mean, why wouldn't it have it today? Nothing's changed in this world, baby. So there's a nice move up, huge move, 35 cents on shares. So the only thing that I'm always going to do is look back and say, why did we get out when it was at that high? You know, but again, you got to let some trades run, and we're doing that right now with about 20% left on board there. So, NYCB halted down. That's not.
So remember what we said yesterday about
nice.
NYCB, because I know we're going to go there next. I said yesterday I'm looking for like a SSR bounce at about $3. I want an even dollar breakdown, and I wanted a fresh low on NYCB. It was already, the $4 level already came into place. I wasn't looking for the bounce there. I don't know where the bottom's going to be here, but I do want to take a shot at it at some point. We just mentioned Alibaba continuing to run higher. I know we talked about Alibaba, a couple of other names there, but it's starting to pull back into that 75 level. So I'm looking for the dip into 75. Want to go bounce off of that key level. Snap just made another run at tops and got stalled out. Got to zoom back in. When a stock gaps down like that, got to zoom in and out so I can show you the levels. I tried to get it here in front of the pre-market high, and it turned at 25. So there's a seller at 25. I'm going to jump down there again, and if it holds 12 even, we'll look for a fill underneath that 25 level for the next profit take on Snapchat, which continues to go. I know Enphase is moving as well, but you had to pick and choose the ones that you wanted off of that open. You couldn't sit there on all of them. There's almost no chance. Even missed a couple ones that I wanted. I wanted Uber at that 67.40 level. We just weren't able to get it. Roblox, if we're taking the stairs up, 43. Let's go 44 next on the way back in. I am on the bid of Apple in case somehow it tries to pick us up at 89. So I'm starting to think I should just get up to 90. It's bounced there twice already.
Yeah, it's never a good thing that we miss all the trades that we wanted to hit. But like you think we're excited now, like if we had some of these trades, but it's a nice move back up, man. I'm super happy. We're an Uber shareholder, we're an Alibaba shareholder, but we don't have the trade on. That's basically it. All right, so Google still, this is the only one that's not an absolute monster, but we'll just wait for it, I guess. As Google trying to go. Let's check out on AMD. I mean, I know there's a lot of names here that we probably have to get to.
Oh, no, Affirm.
That Roblox off that 44 is a great one.
Affirm.
For sure. Affirm.
It dumped at 44.
I wasn't even looking at Affirm. So. All right, AMD dumped at 44, okay. There goes Google. I mean, Palantir is just like, honestly, it's a huge stink face because it's just like, whatever, man. Like this was just such a banger there for me that we just got another piece out at 40 there. So I'm just gonna hold. There's not much else to do on that trade. Thank you for everybody in the chat. It does mean a lot. I mean, like I said, there's people on, like sleep affects people differently. We talked about that. Obi talks about that. I know Neil talks about that. But honestly, man, we're coming in here, we're putting in tons of hours for content for you guys, and then coming in, doing up the sticky note. We got the sick watch list that goes out there. Neil has something in the morning, and it's just so much content out there. And like, get home, go to sleep, boom, wake up, come right back in here, and it's just great to see that like the work that we're putting in is really starting to pay off. So continue to follow us everywhere and get as much content as possible and send as many messages as you guys possibly can. And it's even funny, yesterday I had some parents that know me really good now, obviously. We've been everywhere. They're like, oh, someone on Instagram is contacting me that I thought was you. I'm just like, come on, guys. Come on. What's up, Dara?
And Vivo Therapeutics running second day in a row here, NVIVs. This one initially trading higher yesterday amid some volatility following their previous bankruptcy filing. So not too much new here for NVIV, but up about 42% right now. Penny stock, keep an eye on this one, guys.
Penny stock, yeah, not what I'm interested in. Someone said there was a different reason for the halt on the NYCB. I saw volatility halt when I checked the NASDAQ halt page. So that's my resource. I trust them. It's a volatility halt as far as I'm concerned. I just got the dip on Alibaba in front of 75. It's not the 74 level, 74.40 that we liked, but 74 even. But we'll go for the 75. If we get to 74, I'll take a secondary shot at it. But the NYCB, it's either 5 or 10 minutes. In this case, it opens up at 5. It's not that I want the stock to go down, but I'd rather play the relief rally at $3 or a fresh low. Right now, it's still battling this $4 area and trying to get back to the upside. So if it does another halt down, then it'll get me a little bit more interested. Snapchat, still more of the same. It's holding $12, but we're not really getting, like we're holding a higher low, but we're not pressing back into those highs. So I'm gonna, like I said, I moved my offer up a little bit, down a little bit, see if we can get something in front of the 25 level. If we can't, we can't. Enphase making some power moves as well, but I want to stick to the names that were on the list. I jumped up for Alibaba, but it didn't hold 75. I'll wait back for the 74 level. We'll take a 20-cent hit and then look for the level that we really wanted, back down at that 74 even. It's wild we didn't trade any Uber, but I don't want to rush into it with FOMO. So I have a bid down at that 76 or 67.40. The other side of that trade would be the 70 even, which is being tested now. So I'm going to have my eyeballs here. You need to see a buyer step up if I'm going to join this. The market's looking a little bit weak, and I want some things to short, to be honest with you. Firm is come and gone. Intel's not at 43. AMD, which sometimes provides us with some levels, it's got a 170 on it if you're interested, but then AMD looks a little bit strong the last couple of days, and it's kind of through the afternoon tops. So I'll stick to waiting around patiently for like 43 on Intel. Let's go to the desk with Adara.
Your Robux trying to beat that pre-market high earlier here. Nice surge in volume. Not much new here other than the earnings this morning, but still really strong here for RBLX, up about 11.5%, guys.
Yep. We like that one for sure. Yeah, so for me, Alibaba, we're just going to try to be as patient as we can and stick to the plan, man. The plan was 74. So let's wait. If it doesn't come in, it doesn't come in for me on that one. We are going to wait for 74 there. Palantir's at the day's high and breaking right now. See you 22.50. Man, it's a good thing we didn't sell yesterday. We talked about that. Yeah, today it's up again. So up another 3%. Let's see if it wants to go. I was waiting past 50s here. I was waiting at 55s. I'm just going to put an offer now at 47 to see if it just stopped at 48, 49. So there it comes one more time. I'm on a paid gateway. Like I'm not even trying to like. I just want to run me over, get paid to get that out. But anyways, there goes Palantir. Let's see what happens to it. Hopefully we get that out. I might just take it here because honestly, there's. Okay, here it comes, 47. All right, let's just take a 44, Phil. If we can, we're offering 44s. Ooh, we missed it. Did we get that? No, it missed us. Oh, so there's a problem. See, like, I could have been on another gateway and got that, Phil. But, okay, oh, well, maybe we'll get it anyways. Okay, so you know I'm trying to get a 44, Phil. Whether or not you get 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, it's not going to matter. But there it is. Oh, there we go. We got it right there. That's another one right there. We'll take another piece off. Google didn't get it low enough for us there. Ford, though, we just got a new position. Literally just flies in right now. Ford 1250. I am not going to hold this one too much past this. Honestly, I did have a stop order in a lot lower for Ford, but I'm just going to put this in at 1240. If we break 1240 down to the downside, and again, I told you one of my flaws is chasing P&L. We're having a great day. And I'm not going to lose that on one idea here. So if Ford goes down to the level that I really like, which is 12, then I will load the crap out of that one. But I'm not going to do it yet here on Ford. So that's going to be about 10 cents, 15 cents worth of risk. So let's see if we do get a move back into 60s here, and then we'll be able to get something out there on Ford. But hey, if you're rocking, you're rocking. And let's just see if that happens now. Upside with Ford so far here today. It's a 4 for 4 day, but we need Ford to get going.
Yeah, and I just got Uber. That 70 level does hold. I love the entry. I'm already ringing the register on it. We talk about when you test back in the level, I'd rather join buying than make the buying. That's the difference with Alibaba. Like I just sat on the bid in front of 75, and it came down back and under. This time I let it break, reestablish, go long, grab it at 2 to 1. And then now if it takes out the bid, I've already got a 2 to 1 fill to the upside. If it can go back into the 71 even area, we'll take the rest out. But the other thing that's happening is Snapchat is pulled back. I should have said snapped back. That's low-hanging fruit. Snapped back underneath 12 even. Remember, 1170 was that overnight bottom, and then the pre-market lows down here as well. So the fill at the open was 1185-ish. I mean, realistically, I got like 88s, but 85 was where that support is. If it can bounce off that, there's one more salvo to go, and that's the only place I'd look for a reload. I want it bouncing off that higher low. I guess it could bounce off 1170 as well, but I'll allow it to make a bit of a bottom before that happens. I just double-checked what the EVs are doing. Because the market's getting back up to the top. Is there something to short at the tops? Rivian's at the low of the day, down 1.5%. Tesla is also flunking. That 15 level on Rivian, there you go. 15 has been a turnaround buy zone on this stock. I'm going to get a bid down out in front of 15.
All right, we're already long right now, Rivian. So we're long Rivian right now. We got a decent price. We're long at 26s right now. So Rivian starting to go back up to the upside there. We noticed something similar. So let's just get some out here as we're going to watch out for that level. I'm going to be trading with big shares. So if this breaks 1520, I think we'll get out. Like there's something wrong here with this. But I want to try it. I want to try this. You know, we bought Disney on dips the last couple of days, which really worked out. Like Neil said, it's better to buy stuff sometimes on dips rather than, you know, I mean, again, if it breaks levels like Uber and things like that, that could be a little bit of a different story. But Rivian here, a nice move down. I don't know if there is any problems here at all with this. There goes, yeah, I know, I saw that. There goes Palantir, guys, honestly. I don't really know what to do, but it's been a really good trade right there, as now we're pretty huge on it. And by the way, guys, we did it again. There's Ford. I have 5 trades on today. Ford buying 1250. You listening to this, Patrick? Ford buying 1250, right? We have Palantir buying $22. We've got Rivian right now, a dime in the money, but just now. And of course, like we mentioned with Patrick, you can use many amount of shares you can hold on a stock like this. And then Snapchat's really been great up there long at 12. And now on Snapchat, we only have that 10% left, as we'll see what happens now. And we want to get longer at 1170. So I think that might be worth a shot there, Patrick. Down at 1170-ish near for Snapchat. Let's see if that does hit. But, oh yeah, then Google we have right here, right now. But we've already taken out 40% up there. This is not a great one, man. We need Google to fall into 144 because the market is actually going well and Google is not. I thought it was time for this name to get going. Apparently, we are wrong. Let's just get some more out on Rivian right now. It's another big day, and we're proud that you guys are rocking with us. BABA back above 75 did not get to my level yet. It's Miss Adara.
Yeah, really good look for PenW. This one was actually just at new all-time highs here, up about 5.5%. Looks to be a Fortinet sympathy play after Fortinet's earnings beat last night. So that's the look here for PANW, Palo Alto Networks.
I missed that on Palo Alto.
So did I.
Yeah, I just went for Bob again off 75. I'm going to go for this level. If we don't get 74, I think Baba's got one and then maybe even like a $3 move off of this level, or maybe we get something deeper at that 74. But Snapchat did come in. I took Snapchat off that bounce. Remember 1185 I was talking about? It bounced off 1185 again, so I did do a little reload. Going to get some out on the way to VWAP. Maybe it's not going to have the parabolic move that we expected. I kind of thought you could break the highs and get to 13 because that's such a big relief rally. If that's not going to be the case, we can still scalp inside the range. I think it's a 40-cent range on a $12 stock. That should be good enough if it wants to go back and forth over and over again. The other name that we should be paying attention to, as I said I would, was going to be Apple. All right, I'm going to back my order off. I'm sitting there waiting at 189, and it's now double bottomed at 189.30. And if you haven't guessed it, it closed at 189.30. Previous close is the bottom. Forget about the even dollar level. Don't anchor yourself to the even dollar too much. Sometimes it's just about that previous close.
All right, Uber pulling back nicely into 69 again. Where am I bidding? I'm just going to cancel the 68 bid because honestly, if the market falls down, like I said, man, we could have some bigger problems there. We only got out of half of Rivian, so okay. It did not retrace all the way back up, but we had some good, I mean, most of our outs there are 33s, 35s. That's a 35, 30. you know, so we're going to lose it if it drops 20s. So it looks like it's trying to do that right now. Just got to make sure we do have that stop order in, which we do not. All right, so, you know, 15, if we drop to 20, we want to get out. So we got more. Okay, so we got more down there. Average price now 25 on Rivian. But again, not that bump that we thought. We thought we'd come back in here. We just hit the 50 period right down here, and now it's trying to break a little bit lower. That 15 is held decently, but then if you take a 15 long, you probably got to hold that to 1480, 1470. So we're taking a risk here, but I'm not holding it down to those bottoms. No way. It's just we've seen Tesla today. Let's go back over and look at it because as we mentioned it. We always talk about trading sort of these names in tandem a little bit here. Yeah. And look what Tesla's doing. It's getting clocked. I mean, we talked about having some FOMO in this name, and no mo FOMO, because if you bought it early, then you have regrets. And there goes Tesla all the way back in. Could you find out, Adara, like, I know she's just busy doing everything, but maybe Tesla here, like really pulling back pretty aggressively. The Benzinga in my ear is just not working right now. So
I didn't see anything, but
Palantir, yeah.
That's not the be all end all.
Yeah.
I mean, Tesla, it could just be Tesla doing Tesla things. Apple just did not hold the 189, so that's continuing to flush. You should have just shorted a firm. I'll get to that in a quick second. But Apple just came out. You'll see that there. I'm going to take advantage of this little reprieve on Snapchat. Above 12 as the market turn around to try and get a little bit more out. It just tagged 12 and then someone refreshed. So it took out a level that had a little bit of size on it, and then the size just came back, same amount on every single gateway, just did it a second time. So I just got a little bit more out there on Snapchat. There's something coming out there. Ford, Randy just asked what Ford's doing. Sean's in Ford right now. It's starting to pull back in there. I like this level, but I want to be very patient. I'll show you the daily chart why I like it.
Nobody's speaking.
This is 1245. That's the previous local high. That was my buy zone, dip buy for Ford. So it gets down here. I'm looking for the bounce. It wasn't exactly 50. You don't always have to anchor yourself to even dollar prices. But I'd like to see it make a curl first. Man, I knew I wanted some shorts. It's one thing wanting to find something short. It's another thing to actually find an execution, which I did not. And I said affirm, but I didn't grab it. I'm going to get into Ford here once it can clear out another level upside and then join the party, as that's giving you the dip buy if you want it, that's for sure.
All right. We put sticky note on there, 144 for Google. So we're long at 144.15, and it's not necessarily a small position. So the market's trying to bounce off VWAP. We're going to take some out here. We were waiting at 19s. Hopefully, give us those damn 19s. There you go. Thank you. Now, if we can get going, then we'll really be laughing on this one. I did pair out of some of this trade for sure, man. I did not like the way the market was falling there. We are able to get out of some Rivian on the high side there, which was really nice. But now we need to get out of some Google, man, because if it holds VWAP, great. But the way it screamed into there, man, I went over and I canceled all of my Alibaba trades because I'm like, oh no, this is gonna come into 74 like pronto, and I just got lit up on Google, so a little bit nervous Nancy hands here into this. So let's wait. Hopefully,
and that's the key.
Hopefully we bounce.
There was a phrase I wanted to just repeat that you said there. Okay. Went over and canceled orders on something. Like if you ever find yourself, and I've done this, just lost. If you ever find yourself in that position, like you've got a bunch of positions, like I don't want to add to something right now, cancel bids. I have a hotkey that is cancel closest bids. If I have a bunch of longs and I don't want the next one, you cancel that one. I'm trying to get a firm here to the south side, and look, Ford is at that level, but it didn't hold a bid just yet. That's all I'm looking for. Snapchat's held 12. It's the only thing I'm left in. Off those longs that we're trying to get the bounces. But there's one thing that is, before we go to Adara, there's one thing that is holding up. If I hit enter a second time, now it'll work. That's Roblox. Forget about VWAP. I was out too early, took a buck, and now it's like 3. So 45 looks pretty good. I like this for long. If it never threatened you, then that's the one to go back to. That doesn't really rhyme, but let's go to Adara.
I found some stuff on Tesla. So Reuters is reporting that Tesla managers have been asking whether their employees' positions are critical. So there are some layoff fears within the company being reported by Bloomberg and Reuters here. So just some ongoing layoff concerns within Tesla. That's all I'm seeing right now, though, guys. I will keep an eye on it.
I think we interpreted that as potentially positive for the share price if you're gonna.
I mean, that was just from the whenever there's a story like that that we already have, and then the stock moves in a way that's just like more dramatic than anybody thought, like I just, so that story is really obviously hitting it, but I feel like it's just an excuse to sell. Like, why didn't people sell? They just, everything turned on at 8:30. Or 9:30, sorry, 8:30. Oh, well, actually turned on right about here, it looks like. 9:27. As soon as those imbalances, we should have looked at potentially what those imbalances were. Holy crap. People are gonna email in and say this guy's saying words like crap and everything like that, but you know what? Have a chicken dinner
Crap
with
is
her
not a bad word.
and just chill out about that, because like, if you're in Palantir, that this is the least amount of language that you'll be using, because this has been an absolute moonshot again today. It's Palantir, and it's the trophy stock of the day. I mean, what else? Roblox was fantastic at that bottom, but this has a $22 name as well, and just so much momentum, and the beauty about this trade, and it was very similar to the Roblox trade as well.
It's when they don't go
is
against
that this
you.
one is not ever going against me. So it's just like, it just goes and goes and goes like the Energizer Bunny. All right. Again, look what happened to Rivian. Like, sometimes we scalp out and then we look back and we're like, why did we scalp out, right? But we know specific names that scalping out is appropriate. I've learned my lesson on stocks like Meta and trying to do it right now with Google and things like that, that when these names can go, they can go. And if I just scalp it all out, then when it goes $2 or $3 in the money, we don't have as many shares as obviously we would like. And so I'm trying to adjust all, see? I almost hit the keys again to take more out on Google right now. So let's see if we can hold this. It's not even that much in the money, man. It was a dime in the money. So obviously Google can continue to go upside, but that's what it's all about. Have different strategies for different stocks, understand what you're doing. And that was part of, oh, by the way, today, you guys can go see our Instagram account if you want, the @tradertv.live one. When we get back, I'll show you. We have a reel out today. It's a Wednesday wisdom wheel, a real wheel. Wednesday wisdom wheel.
It's because you, well, no,
on Winstagram. All right, what's up, Adara?
Yeah, the market's up this morning. Nice gap up here for the SPY after a little bit more flat to weak movement here earlier today. But lots of earnings to talk about throughout the day, of course, with some more expected after close, including Disney and PayPal. Lots of Fed speak on watch today as well, so keep an eye on all of that. Could be impacting the market. We did have Kashkari speaking in an unplanned or unannounced talk earlier today, so lots of Fed speakers to keep an eye out. Right now, main stocks to watch are all going to be earnings related. Alibaba down about 5.5% right now. One of the big highlights from this earnings was that also that Alibaba has approved the increase of $25 billion to their share repurchase program. Also worth keeping an eye on Enphase Energy, recovering after slumping a little bit here, up about 16.5%, missing their earnings across the board here, but some upgrades and some positive analyst sentiment for Enphase. Uber Technologies, last but not least here, UBER, struggling a little bit here, down about 2%, but general earnings beat and some pretty positive sentiments throughout the report for that one, guys.
Yeah, well,
I was gonna get out my personal account if Ford broke the highs and got up to like 13. I think I put like 1360 something, whatever. I picked the price above.
We talked about that. I thought Ford. I'd rather buy Tesla, so I think I will still do that. Here's your Wednesday wisdom right now on Instagram. Go over, follow me. You know, often. Duplicated, never imitated, whatever that saying is. There's so many fake accounts, but go find it @TraderTV, Sean. You'll see this is what it's supposed to look like. Trade ideas every day thrown on here, including the sticky notes. So if you guys don't support X, you can come on here and find it, the market recap. This was a huge clip, actually, from the market recap when we talked about, I think it was Alibaba. Yeah, that was a good one there. A couple clips being shown, so go find that every single day. And then here's the Wednesday wisdom today. So it's done this morning, and we talk all about technical analysis and things like that. Hey, someone says, hey, Sean, I thought you used to give out your sticky notes. Yeah, they're still here. What's up to Oak Investing? What's up to everybody about that? So this is talking all about technical analysis. So go find it right here. It's on Instagram. It's your Wednesday wisdom piece there. All right, Google just broke. So again, going back to Wednesday wisdom, 144. That was the level. Came in, it broke. We wanted to get out. We were telling you we were thinking about taking some profit, but while we were gone with a dare there, this actually went into the 30s again. So, you know, we will be red on this name because it did break down, and we were long at 17s, and we took out half of it for a complete flatted out trade. But here we are, down at one. Let's go long again here. We're down at 144.06. Whenever we get to these levels, because we have a bigger amount of shares, we get out of them. But we'll reload it back up because it looks like it wants to hold. But these futures, man, I don't know. I don't want to dance with the devil too much down here. These levels are breaking lower. Rivian broke. Palantir's $1 in the money, but we're almost out of all of that one. So it's Google, and we might have to find some lower levels. But let's hold on to a small piece so we can watch it. It's 144 long on Google. Yesterday's, that's a little bit too low down there. Yeah, I mean, 143.80 maybe, but we're well below. Like, see, now we should not, you see you're below, we should not, I'm going to get out. We should not be, I'm talking myself out of this, and hey, if honestly, we'll get out there at 144. I'm going to regroup. I'm going to slow down and regroup here on Google. We're going to go to a dare, and then we'll come back and see what Neil's up to.
Yet another earnings name looking fantastic here. Emerson Electric up 10.5% following a pretty stellar earnings beat here at new 52-week highs for EMR, guys.
Emerson, so the only new position, of course, was that Affirm. I should have found more things that I like short setup. We talked about this. I usually have, like, I'll go through charts all morning long. So I have ideas that I like long, and I have ideas I like short. And then when Sean was like, I got no idea short, I was like, well, I always do. And I looked over, and I was like, oh, I don't. I had nothing. Went Affirm, and then I saw Affirm at 44. We didn't get it. I just shorted Affirm underneath VWAP. So local bottom, lower highs. I got it 43.35, and then just got some out there at 15s, 1-to-1. We'll see if it breaks lower. If the market flushes, Affirm, I mean, I kind of feel like Affirm should be good, but it was strong the last couple of days. But why do we wait for 44 and up at that level? Look at the daily chart. What would you do? Look at the range. 44 has been the top. So if it shows me the top and you like the short, then that's where you should do it. Snapchat is threatening that bottom again. So we reloaded it last time. I don't know if I want to go to this well another time here. So you're going to see me not reload this until it's on the way back up, if I even do so at all. Last time we got 91s on a bounce. So we'll take whatever we can get here on Snapchat, wherever it decides to bounce. But that's a lower high. So the lower high is into a flat bottom. It does signal that it is working in the other direction against us. Should have just stuck to Roblox. I was on the bid here. I am on the bid here at 45, but it looks like I'm not really getting any fills on Roblox. That just continues to go up. I got out of this one way too early.
We should be in Alibaba.
Way too early. And Bob was at 74. Oh, I know what happened. Oh, never mind.
Did it break?
Well,
70?
I know why I'm not long.
Why did I get stopped out
at
there?
74? Because I messed around with this stock at 75, which of course would have canceled many 74 orders that I would have had at the time. So I probably, if I don't take these hits, I probably would have just taken the same hit at 74. But it doesn't matter now. I just got into Rivian, so that must be at 15.
Oh, yeah.
What the heck, Rivian?
Close enough. All right, so I wanted to go back into Google, but I didn't want to go until we actually bounced off 144. So this could be disastrous strikes again, because we just went long at 16s here, trying to get it through that level. We'll put a stop at that recent bottom. Oops, sorry, was I even on Google there? My bad. There it is. So now we'll see what we got out at 25s last time and some 30s. So we'll try to get some out right now on Google as it starts to make a move back up. And we'll just try to be right this time instead of holding out for a hero trade. We're making it all back. I took a decent amount of shares there. We're not making it all back. I mean, it still has to go upside. So we'll take out there at about 25%. Let's see if it goes. All right, new position alert. This coming out if we break through 73.50. Like Neil just said, Alibaba completely fell down there. I have an out there. I don't know why that came out. We actually were able to make a little bit of money there, but I think my stop order just got triggered prematurely. But that didn't get triggered prematurely. There it is. That's a fail. Alibaba runs through 73.50. So in a name that was actually up to $82 or something like that here when they first released it, you know, you're now getting cracked back into 73 here for Alibaba. So, wow. All right. Big time movement to the downside. We bought at 72. That's not looking so good anymore. But this could be a flush.
Look out for
some nice volumes happening right now. Yeah, right now I have to worry about Google, but yeah, Snapchat's coming in as well. And I'm honestly wondering about this Alibaba. It is a nice move back, but it never got going all day long. I know we've each taken a couple shots at this, but
It's
doing this, and we tried it right there. Wow, now
the
Google,
programs aren't there on
we are
Alibaba.
hella positive, by the way, on Google right now, as that's really ripping.
Yeah, I mean, the program buying just hasn't been there. I'm going to reload
gotta
the
get
one
back
short that I have in a second on Affirm, but we already mentioned Rivian, that's starting to bounce. I want to make sure that we give it a little bit of room to breathe. When you have a fall like this, whoops, it's a New York stock. When you have a fall like this, like the next level up isn't until the quarters, or the range up, I should say. So let it get into those quarters. I was looking to add to it if it got closer to that 15 level, so here it starts to go. But it has been like a free fall for a lot of these names. Snapchat is at 80s, that low was like 70s, so it's getting close to there. I'll get to it. If we break that low of the day, I'll probably just be out. Looking for a reload above VWAP on Affirm. It's the only short position, not just that I have on, but like the only short position I think that's even existed this morning. And it's a range-bound morning. Like, you're seeing a lot of crazy action, but same high on the NASDAQ. Overnight top is still support. So you got like a 60-point range here that hasn't even been violated. You just got to be trading the names that move and trying to find some good levels on them if you can. So, you know, you can see I'm going to get out if this thing breaks 43.60. I already had a stop in place when I made that reload on Affirm. The only bet short here. Come on, market, go up.
Oh my God. I didn't think we'd spin this today on Palantir. That's a good one, man. That's a real good one. All right, Alibaba, we got back in, but Alibaba can go directly to hell, of course. And by that, I mean, I'm a shareholder, so hey. But yeah, there it goes, man. We were long at, what was it, 63s? We got out on a break of 50. That sucked. It's still not like it's doing anything, but we just wicked up there at 80. So that would have been nice if we had it. But nice is in the eye of the beholder because, well, we still have Alibaba, but a little piece.
Isn't it beauty?
Whatever it is, man. You know, nice, beauty, beast, whatever, who cares? At this point, it's just all about Google for me. So I finally did something that I don't normally do, and that is like I did not. Remember we got out when I was thinking ways about this? We were long better than this, but we got out when I was like, we're underneath. But then when we broke, I was waiting. I mean, we mentioned this, man. I was like, we just got to break this area back again, and that was 15s, and that's where we went long. And I went long a lot of shares because we got that bottom. So this is really starting to be like, this is actually, I'll tell you once I'm out of Palantir, but this has a very, very good opportunity and a good chance already, even right now, to be a higher net name than Palantir for me today. Let's see if Google really wants to work. Palantir came out of nowhere, but Google was a level that we had written down there on the sticky note and really, really proud of it. And now I don't have a problem getting out of this at VWAP. WAP. I got to figure out what the proper way of saying that is.
I think it's VWAP.
And then you have the 200, you have the 50, and you have VWAP. We always call it VWAP. So that's that. The problem is that when Brian said when there's a gap, play VWAP. So I was like, oh God, now that rhymes.
That's like Eminem. Like it's you.
Now I'm in trouble.
Actually, the sign of we'll go to there in a second. The sign of a good lyricist, if you're a rapper, is to be able to like adjust how you say a few things to make it rhyme and it sounds natural.
Right, so that would be credit to Brian Shannon. There goes Alibaba, by the way, a 40-cent winner. We need
Rivian too.
We need to go up that. You guys
market highs.
You're right, dream ride music, but we got to go over to Adara to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I guess another way you could do it would be when there's a GOP, look for VWAP, I guess, as well. But also Coherent, looking really nice here, up about 8%, making new all-time highs. This one reported earnings after market close on Monday with a beat across the board here. Now getting some positive analyst notes and price target increases from Benchmark and B of A, among others. So really nice look here for COHR, guys.
So Rivian's about to get 2 points here. Rivian might not go green, but Rivian's getting right to that 15.30. Sometimes you just get a fortunate fill. I like the 15 level on Rivian. So the first bid is at 11s or 12s. Generally speaking, that's how I'll roll in front of an even dollar. It just happened to give it to me. But when I look at that trend down, you know how I roll. I'm looking for the out in front of that previous resistance level. If it gets to VWAP, that's still a bit of a trend down. Going to ring the register on that one. We're able to get the bottom Wiccans on Rivian. Not going to fight it. I did want the market to go up overall because they're mostly long realistically, but I reloaded on a firm. First time we get a win, second time we'll take a hit. I wanted something to the south side just in case. Ford's starting to get back up. NVIDIA is now back over 690 if you're hunting for that $700 level, guys. So let's respect it. It's one of those days where you had to be able to weather the storm a little bit. Snapchat's even bouncing. Want to go back over to this as well. It bounced off that low one more time. We're going to try and get this back into VWAP, but the longs have come in. There was some battling going down at some of those bottoms. But things looking a little bit better now. Tesla's also recovered.
Just went over to my man over there and was like, yo, dude, are you not on this Google 144 train? So there it goes, man. It's a huge move up, man. Palantir and Google just absolutely booming today. Let's see if Google wants to go. That's 5,000 on S&P. NASDAQ 17.8. There's 5K right now. It's a celebration around here. It's another high in the NASDAQ. It's another high in the S&P 500. And it's another day that ends in Y. And we are just continuing to go, man. I mean, this is what it's all about here. You know, this is what gets me, man. I mean, family, and then you guys, and trading. I mean, honestly, this has been such a great run here over the last little while. I mean, we're even happy about this Alibaba retracement back to the upside here as well. This has just been going great, great. Palantir, I mean, this is the one that's really impressing me because I did not have this kind of a plan. I mean, why the hell else would we be getting out at those past highs? I did not think we'd go off like this on PLTR. But all this does is like just reconfirms, man, that when you have that instinct there, you act like that Roblox at 40. You know, we talked about that as an investment. The podcast. You know, I mean, we're talking about Palantir so much that we even have this hat for Palantir. So this has been a big one. Right now. All right, so there it goes. Palantir, we're going to have to, okay, oh shit. There it is. We're almost $1 in the money on Google right now. There's some news on about Apple right now. They're making some sort of a new phone. We'll find out some more details about that one when Adara has it. But there is some news right now about Apple. It is not doing anything, so we'll wait on that. But it's Google, man. Like I said, Google will take over the #1 P&L spot today from Palantir, but that, I guess, is position pending, as I still have about 20%. So let's get some more out here. If we can get an 86er, there it is, we'll get that. And then we'll go on from there. So shout out to Mike Crehan.
Foldable phone, apparently. Yeah,
Mike Crehan, a foldable phone. Okay, that's fine. So they'll just have the best foldable phone out there. That's all when they release it. Thanks, Mike. I'm not wearing your shoes today. We've got on Heather Jordan's, but yeah, it was a former host of ours, and I don't have a problem saying it. It was Prad. Prad got me that hat, and yeah, we wish him obviously all the best of luck. But there goes. I mean, that's what. To me, it doesn't matter. We want to support everybody that's been here on the show. There goes Google. Nice move back up to the upside, guys. It's $1. It's $1 on, well, it'll be $1 on Alibaba soon, and it's $1.25 there right now. If you're rocking with the stick, you know, you're long Google at 144 like this. So it's been a great opportunity to get trading today. If it's your first time here, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If it's your first time here, then I can hopefully guarantee that it won't be your last, man. This energy that we're bringing, this is literally every day. Ask guys like Mike, ask guys in the chat that have been here every single day. There's a reason why we're here, and me and Neil talked about this before. I didn't miss one day during COVID. We were in every single day. What a great buying opportunity that was. What's up, Abe?
Yeah, there's a couple things with Apple, one of them being the foldable phone reports coming from the information that Apple is developing foldable clamshell iPhones. Also worth noting here as well, this proxy advisory firm, ISS, is recommending Apple shareholders vote for the shareholder proposal on report of use of artificial intelligence. That coming out a little bit before 10 a.m. So if there's anything else here, I will let you know, but these are the headlines I'm seeing right now for Apple, guys.
Thanks a bunch there, Adara. And just a one more update. Now remember the levels I liked on Ford? You gotta have an out. I take the out when it breaks a previous low, and then it made a double bottom there when we got Rivian at the exact same time. But if I like 1245, as a key level for a dip buy, then I like 12.45 for an out as well. If it's trending in the other direction, then a level I like for support and lost on, I'm playing as a resistance level and taking profit. That's the way that I want to roll every single time. And if it means getting out early, it means getting out early. But it's about preservation. Rivian is also trend down, so yeah, we got a bottom there. But I'm not going to make the assumption that this is the turnaround when the stock is relatively weak. Market's breaking highs. Rivian's down 1.7%. Ford was down. So take the profit that you can get on the way back into the upside. Just want to go over. Roblox is continuing to rally. I mean, it is what it is. But it's coming back into VWAP. So following a rule, I try to grab it on that dip buy. I will allow it to dip in and then catch the bounce. Instead of just sit on the bid and try to get run over, I'll look for the bounce, try to join the bounce on Roblox, up 11%. There are so many earnings plays today that are moving. I know you guys have been mentioning like Fubo and Boeing's apparently moving.
Fubo?
Oh yeah, Fubo.
I haven't been focused.
But yeah, you have to like. There's a lot that you could watch. Fubo got woodshedded as well. So it's
Down 26%?
yeah, it's an SSR potential play. If this gets to 150 or could crack the $2 level, actually it would be in play for me. But my point is that you had to pick your poison on day like today. There was a lot to look at. I do like Roblox. To me, was one of the strong ones. So I want to see it show some strength off of VWAP, and then I want to join the bounce play. But hey, if Fubo gets to that 50-cent level, I'd probably give it a shot.
I'm glad that had that level. That Ford is too bad. I wish I would have. We were too busy with Google, and I'm more than happy to do that. But that's a great level. We wanted to load up at 12. So that 12.20, I'm sitting there now. I don't know if it's going to get back down there. I was looking, man. I'm going to say congratulations. There's one guy on my heels back there, and guess who it is, man? It's Obi. So let's give props to Obi having a big day as well. So shout out to Obi back there behind me. I do not want to distract him, so I will not call him out more than that. So congrats to Obi today for another big day, man. We celebrate. I told you, man. We're celebrating people on this show. I really like that Roblox pullback into VWAP. So yeah, $45. Let's go. I'm not even going to question myself on this one. I like this play. We'll see about. Oops. Okay, we just punched in there. You might have saw some green there. We got long at 30s. I want to buy this. This is being very, very like undisciplined, just going in here and buying this like this, but we have VWAP down there at 45. Let's see if we can get it. That's just a starter position because I didn't want to miss. So we're in a starter position now for Roblox. I have about a third of what I'll take. The other 2/3 is down here near 45. If we break 45, we will have to wait. Perfect, thank you, Fabian. We will have to wait for 44.75 to break. So right now we're into Roblox. Google is monstrous, obviously. We've talked about that. Alibaba. Guys, we just reloaded Alibaba down here, so let's take another out if we can, and then if we get going on that one, then that would be pretty great. But guess what, man? We just bought some Roblox, and that's our newest position. We have Palantir. I'm thinking about a break there of Palantir, but I kind of want to hold this. If the market goes down, we're going to have bigger issues because we still have a little bit of this Google. But right now, let's see if Baba holds, if Roblox holds. Oh, by the way, remember we mentioned dime pieces around here? That was quick. Roblox up there. Take a quick dime piece on that. And now let's see if it goes even higher. Let's go over to Adair and see what she's up to.
IWM making a pseudo double bottom here. Pretty nice recovery. Still slightly down on the day here, or slightly pretty flat here for the IWM. We also have some other small caps running around right now. Alt Alliance, AULT, this one a bit more of a penny stock, but really strong move here, saying they're not going to be pursuing new acquisitions through 2024. This announcement coming out this morning. Just some headcount information here as well for AULT. Also, Microcloud Hologram, Brendan bringing this one up earlier, HOLO, the ticker for this one, still very strong after making some announcing plans to join the Communication Industry Association. Float of about 1.85 million shares for this one, so very low float there. Last but not least, we have this GoGo, GOGO is the name, the ticker here at NetJets, inking a new connectivity agreement with GoGo here. So nice move up for GOGO, guys.
Come on, Sharif. You don't know about NetJets, man? All right.
I know about NetJets. So I waited for a little bit more confirmation, but it's effectively going to be the same thing on Roblox at that 45 level. Look for the bounce off VWAP. There was enough buying in there to get me engaged. One in, if it breaks evens, I'm getting out. So it's about 40 cents worth of risk. So it needs to crack 50s to get out of anything. Otherwise, the R&R is not going to work. Snapchat just wicked the bottom. Now, I said 70 is going to be the out. I got out. And if I get wicked out like that, I'm generally speaking going to jump right back into the trade. You know the rule. If it's a wick bottom and I like the level, once you break 75, I'm just going to grab some 76s here on Snapchat.
Yeah, we're long Snapchat 73s. We got a piece out. We got out about half when it broke as well. We're going to hold on to that and see what happens. And you know what else is happening right now? I mean, let's just go. It is what it is, honestly. There goes Alibaba again. We got a beautiful reload, I feel like, down there again at 60. So our average price, 61. Let's see if that wants to work. We just got it out at 885. I do have another piece because, like, I'm not convinced about about Alibaba by any stretch of the imagination today. So we do have another offer. Pinduoduo is flying. I like that. I like that. But we'll see if Alibaba wants to fly as well. Because you know what? We fly high, no lie. P&L right now, it's Google, as that's going to the upside right now as well. Let's take another piece out, man. This is the day maker here, period. It's Google. We talked about we wanted to hold for a bigger move. There's Google. It's $1. It's a good little level there. I'm pretty pleased, obviously, with that trade, and we just need to keep on what we're doing, man. There's Roblox with a nice little buy, dip buy again down there. It's gonna have to go though, man. We're long at 14s right now, and that's right where it is. So let's go, Roblox. Please do not break that 45, because then I will have to send out an all points bulletin, because I'll need some money back for those Robux that I keep on buying. All right, here we go. Down into $45. We do have a decent position, so if it goes up, great. But at the same time, we're here to scalp out a little bit as we go. So we'll take some outs at 20 right there, and then hopefully get back up to the upside. We're pretty much at the highest P&L spot we've been at all day. We have 4 trades on right now. Alibaba's 30 cents in the money. Google's a what? $1. Palantir is what? $1. Roblox is our favorite. It's a dime. It's a dime. And then Snapchat is still a profitable name.
It just reclaimed the low.
Just reclaiming lows. So
it just reclaimed the low. So once it did that underneath that 1170, that's the level I like. If there's no buying above the level I like, then I'm jumping out of the trade. So we tried it one time. We'll try it when it reclaims it. But if it can't get back above, then you got to get out at some point. You know, Snapchat was good off that level. Dip buys were working, all that good stuff. I didn't get back into a firm. I was thinking 44 or nothing. Unfortunately here, it didn't really get to 44. I might just take a shot at this failing underneath VWAP one more time. Ford's holding up pretty decently. I want to get to Apple. We haven't really talked about Apple. Apple went for the dip buy, didn't go. Now we're back to VWAP. This is challenging 190. It's all green since making this. There hasn't even been a red candle on this last push. The NASDAQ's up 1% right now. Woo-hoo. 1%. I know we're watching things like Snapchat and other things go down, like some of the EV names, but Apple definitely helping with this charge. And it hasn't even caught up with the overall market yet. Meta making some power moves. I know NVIDIA is going to be in play for a lot of you, but it's 700 or it's mid-80s as far as I'm concerned. I want to see Apple off of VWAP here. Time to get into one of the strong names that we wanted at the open.
Like I said, man, the S&P is just blasting, man, up huge again, man. Here's the S&P 500. Let's go. Taking out 5K. I mean, that's pretty impressive, needless to say here, as we continue to go. We don't ever look at the ES as much, obviously, as the NASDAQ, but I'll do it for you guys right here. There it is. There's the break. It broke, and it's see you later, man. Straight up to the upside. I'm not going to be able to get this grin off my face, so I apologize for that. As Roblox, we're now 25 cents in the money on Roblox as that goes back up. There's the break. It's been just such a great day, and with Palantir, I mean, I'm really we didn't have Palantir on the sticky note, but you guys know that, you know, obviously, we've been loving Palantir for a very long time. It was one of the best trades yesterday. We were long Palantir yesterday at 1980 live with you guys on the show. So how's that trade? Even just even if you held that, that's going pretty well. But it was really just Google's been working off those levels. Again, this is like I said, big name there. Rivian is a flat name for me today, P&L wise, but upside. Too bad we didn't hold on to it. Alibaba's not really doing too much. And then, yeah, here goes Roblox. So like I said, man, we were buying pretty aggressively down there at VWAP. So when we start to bump back up here, let's take another out at 23. Okay, we just took it. So here it is again. It's not a huge winner for us. It'll be fine. I'm waiting at 34s, see if we can break that, and then we'll wait over here at the 50 period moving average and then go from there. So that is, let's go to 45.55, something like that. We'll put an offer there and see if that hits. But honestly, Neil talked about finding some strength. I talked about what name I wanted to hit, and I even wrote it on the sticky note right here when I said, quite frankly, enough is enough. And if I didn't have this, I would have been peed off. Google, 144, enough is enough. Nice base here with market up, we go. So that's, when you have an idea like that and it turns out to be the #1 P&L name, this is exactly why you do that. You put your money, just like Neil hit that Roblox, man. We're all hitting these levels. So it's like, it's good to look down and be like, yes, my best stock today is Palantir and Google. Like, those are two names that we're super, super happy with, the way they've traded and the way we've traded them. So that's been the big change for me, is being able to identify the right trades and then hitting them aggressively.
Bye-bye Roblox.
And hanging out. Yeah, bye-bye Roblox.
I'm going to take another leg out of 40.
Roblox
I'm going to show you in a second.
45.
But Roblox just broke that 45 level. So if it can't hold 45, then it could be on the dive. I'll wait back to the 43 level. That's where we got it originally, and that was the dip price that we wanted. So if it breaks VWAP, which it's doing right now, I like it back at the 43. And then quickly before we go to Adara, Ford, brick wall at 1245. Like, if 1245, this price on the daily, that was our initial dip buy price, the one that didn't work.
The whole market.
When we get it again, you better darn believe that if 45 starts holding the offer as a key level, you got to start taking it out. Forget about VWAP. Look at 1245. What a price it's been. Unfortunately, it's been a short price off that level. The long has worked into it, but let's go to the desk with Adara. It's 10:30. What's going on in crypto land?
A little update with regards to these Bitcoin or spot Bitcoin ETFs. Bloomberg Intelligence is coming up with some data for the top inflows for ETFs in 2024, and BlackRock actually #5, their spot Bitcoin ETF. Fidelity's is also in the top 10, so just an interesting update here with regards to the strength of some of these spot Bitcoin ETFs about a month after they've initially been launched. Bitcoin itself, more or less flat here, just slightly above that 43,000 area here. Like I said, we've really been topping and turning this last couple weeks here within that range. So Bitcoin here, yeah, down about at 0.8% right now, 43,130. Ethereum, pretty strong here, up about 1 1/3% to 2,370-ish level here for Ethereum. Everything else pretty mixed. Cardano down about 2.5%. Ripple basically flat. Solana up about 1 1/3, guys.
Adara, I told you, if Cardano's ever down, do not say it. Do not
Just
say
don't
that.
say anything.
Do not say anything about Cardano.
It's like, I mean, I've heard people say things like, you know what, I'm not going to talk about my winners. I'm only going to talk about on their personal accounts.
Oh, okay.
Just don't talk about the winners because you jinx it. Only talk about like the losers.
Yeah, I mean, of course, jinxing isn't real.
Well, no, it isn't real, but like it's like that idea of like, don't look at your long-term account if you don't want to get that FOMO or you don't want to make a rash decision and that kind of thing. Like, sometimes just ignore the things that you want to ignore because you're not looking at them every single day. Like, you're going to get out of, like, I'm not getting out of Bitcoin. I'm not getting out of Apple. So I try not to care about. Okay, but I'm just saying, talking for myself.
Yeah, no.
So you want to sometimes weed certain things out if you can, because it can cause you to get like FOMO. Oh crap, I should be selling this or buying that. But if you're holding it for 10 years, as a day trader, sometimes you have to separate the left brain and the right brain. Apple just came in. Oh, I'm back into Affirm. You guys see that there. Affirm wicked 44s. I mean, exactly 44. 44.00 is this high. So I'm going to be short off that level. I chased it underneath 80. Now I'm going to try to get shares at the 80 price because I wanted exactly 80. So I'm above 80 here, trying to get a second fill. 43.80 should be my average price, and then I'll risk about 25 cents on it. Apple did dip in off of VWAP. There's the dip on Apple. Here is potentially the rip. I mean, the NASDAQ's up 1.1%. It's wild because if you're looking at BABA or like some of the EV names early, you're like, this market doesn't feel like it's up 1%. But all you got to do is look at some of these bigger cap names and give them some respect. So Apple back into VWAP, got the dip buy in here. I'll give it to the local low.
I dare not interrupt Adara, but the one thing that you guys missed was making some money back on Roblox. I did not get out when it broke that VWAP. And I bought 80s there, and it ripped right, you can believe it or not, it went back to 45. My best out there was 44.95 right there. So we bought this 80 dip. Now I'm still holding 10%, so we're still in it. This 10% will put us red, but we do want to see about this 44. I just didn't want to get out. We could have got out at 44.50. Probably should have, obviously, as we get down to this side. I mean, maybe we can. I mean, we'd basically be flat if we get it out here. So we'll do that, but we're going to watch out for 44. I mean, that's where the 200 period is on the 1 minute. So, you know, well spotted. That's what we're looking for right there on that. So we'll find out if we can do that for some Roblox downside there in and around 44. But I don't have any offers out now for this. Like, we could get out now and be fine. But we're not going to do that. We're going to hold on and see there. The mistrade for the day for me is the fact that we're flat on Rivian when we had these bottoms. But again, at the end of the day, it goes right into that 15 level. And if I liked it, and I was talking about 15 earlier, there's no way in hell you shouldn't be long pretty much max default down here at 15.10 if you like that 15.11. It's just, again, there's always going to be trades that I miss and that we all miss. Okay, and especially right now, look at Alibaba. I mean, this name is just an absolute monster. We're now 70 cents in the money on Alibaba right now. And that's just going to be another one there. Like, again, go long, go long, go long. Eventually it fails, but there it is. We got it back, and now it's busting upside a little bit. So it's a good, excuse me, it's a good trade here for Alibaba. Obviously, we don't have as many shares as we had hoped. Here comes Snapchat. My killer spot here is 1150 on this name. So, yeah, we'll give back what we made on this. 1150 breaking is where we get out. I'm just making sure if we have any more bids. We do have another one at 1155 there, but that might not be low enough. Oops, Snapchat's a New York name. Oh, it's 11. Okay, let's go to like 1153 and put on like a decent position. Okay, so if it gets into there, then this way we'll lose 5 cents. Well worth the risk for me on this. We already have some shares. We'll go to 54. All right, so we already have some shares on. We just took a piece now. You can see our average price is 69. So this piece is 10 cents out of the money. We are looking to get more. This has been wrong. So whoever has been going long on Snapchat, unless you hit it early, like right off the jump like that, which we did, then it's been fine. But this last couple reloads there, we did break 1170. So now we're reloaded here again, and here it comes back in screaming to the downside. So you got to be very, very careful about that. Roblox is getting close to a buy opportunity as well. So this is going to be another dip opportunity. But yeah, man, if you hold things for too long, eventually they're going to start to get sour. So watch out for Roblox down here. Let's take a little piece now.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing. Just make sure you trade your style, trade your setups. Setups matter, like how are you executing a plan. So there's always two trades. They like a level, I'll jump in front of it. A firm came out, slapped a fail on the 44 level. I had 80s. I think my price was actually 81.5. There is an average price, doesn't really matter. It broke the evens, lost 20 cents, but then it did the wick top. So I get wicked out, doesn't break the pre-market high, jump right back into the trade when it gets underneath 44, and then it's right back in at VWAP. Why do I have two bids down there? Let me zoom back in for you guys. It's a little bit easier to see. So jump back in. If I get wicked out, I'm going to jump in. Did it work on Snapchat? No. I lost an extra 5 cents on Snapchat getting back in on that wick bottom. But on Affirm, it does work, and we get it out to VWAP there. So risk, again, you've got to have a risk plan for every single trade. I do want to jump back over to Apple there. It tried to hold VWAP. There, it bounces off VWAP here. 65 is that bottom on 2 wicks on the 3 minute. Bounces back above VWAP. I grab an in the mid 80s. It reclaims the low. I'm out. So that bounce doesn't work. But if Apple's going to stair step up, it should allow me other chances to get in back to the upside. I just wish I had something else that I liked when these markets get to the high that I like to the short side. Yeah, just over and over again, it's like, oh, yeah, I kind of like Affirm at 44, but I don't have much else. There's been a lot of questions about NIO. Here's what I will say. Pinduoduo's flying. Baba has earnings. Neo has an inside day. Inside day on a day like today, no thank you. Pass, hard pass. Like, it's not doing anything, and I know that's harsh to say, but relatively speaking, if you're looking for a Chinese ADR to roll, Pinduoduo's absolutely flying. If you're looking for an EV name that's giving you moves, whoops, why do I keep doing New York for Rivian? I know better than that. Rivian, look at the range on Rivian. It's actually moving around here today. So I just think you got to try to find things that are moving around when you're trading. I don't really see much to dig my teeth into on NIO. I know that's not the answer people want to hear, but as a trader, like there's so much happening that hasn't really broken out of any kind of a range today. I'm going to take one more out here on a firm in front of VWAP and then hold to see if it can get back into the low of the day. So we're able to get that 1% move back in. Now remember, I've traded 4 times on a firm short, and we'll be 2 for 4, but we'll be up because we're making sure that we limit the loss relative to how much we're winning. And even Ford's starting to come back in here. I have to watch out for that.
Yeah, you know what? Scrap Ford. I'll deal with this after. All right, man. We are close. We just keep on scalping out of this stupid Roblox. We're long here at 44.05, and we got 17s, 18s. You might have heard under my breath, stupid Roblox. Like it's not going. So we got bid. Like our outs are higher than where our bids are, but it looks like it does want to break finally down to the downside right here, and then we'll have to reassess because. You're starting to get low, and it doesn't look like it wants to go too far here. Okay. Change my mind. I'm allowed to change my mind. Wow, Roblox, here we go again. This is a nice one here. As we're starting to go back up to the upside now, it's RBLX. And there it goes, man, super hot fire one more time. Oh, now we have some buyers with us? All right, then. Let's see. Oh, there goes the buyer again. See, so much volume and a lot of uncertainty in the name. So if we get an opportunity to get out again, we will do it again. And there it is again. We're just ringing the said register right now. Every time Roblox goes up, we're still going to be positive on the name. Obviously, if it continues to break lower and we have to lose on this position, then we will not be positive on this name. But we're into Snapchat right now. It's about to honestly give back everything we made. We've already talked about that if it breaks through 50. So we took a 54. I was going to wait for 53, but at this point, I mean, it's just like there's no... The only green candle is really right here where we were like, uh-oh, green candle time. That's after we got stopped out. There's really been nothing else on that. So it's really been throwing people for a loop here. It's Roblox, it's Snapchat, sorry, and it's just downside. So those of you that were like, this is a bad cue and it's horrible, the short percentage seems to have just won. Like, I don't even know if people are covering at this point as Snapchat just keeps on going to the downside. So all is well, but not in Snapchat land, obviously. Watch out for a 50 break because here it comes. We could sit here and watch it, but it's going to break. We can just go over to Adara. So I'm getting out once we break this. So I think my order is probably at 48. So let's see what happens here with Snapchat and go over to the desk with Adara.
Lots of strength across the board, lots of these sectors in the green here, but of course we have to talk about the strength in technology services right now. Meta way up, Microsoft strong, Google also strong here. Electronic technology, an interesting sector as well here with AMD, NVIDIA, and Broadcom, some of the chips to the upside. Apple notably flat, but it's worth noting the information reporting that Apple is working on prototypes for 2 foldable clamshell iPhones. So something definitely to keep an eye on. This will be the first major product design change for the iPhone if this is true. We also have finance pretty green here with the exception of Wells Fargo and Bank of America. Health technology a little bit more mixed, but Eli Lilly notable upside, price target increases, and also they just settled a lawsuit in Minnesota with regards to insulin pricing. So nice look here for Lilly. Consumer services a bit more mixed. Keep an eye on Disney going into earnings tonight. Producer manufacturing, commercial services, health service, producer industry or process industries, all pretty strong right now. Energy minerals a bit to the downside here, guys.
All right.
I just had 51s on Snap in front of that level, but in, out, off that bounce. I like, for SSR bounces, I like even levels. I know 50 is not an even level, but it is for most intensive purposes. I like that 50 level as an even when a cheaper stock. A more expensive stock, you care about the actual flat dollar. Maybe
eventually
you get to
it's going to bounce, but
it's like there. I do think eventually it bounces, but it's got. I'm going to play it step by step and just wait for the next key level for an SSR bounce there. I'm going to keep it tight to the vest as much as I can. I already mentioned Ford. Firms continuing to roll back into the downside there. I'm not really looking for a fill on Roblox until we get to that 43 level. Oh, yes. I knew we were forgetting something. It is you, Enphase.
Oh, no.
So, like, this is a wild one. Oh, the volume. I thought we'd tighten up the range a little bit, sort of the spread, on end phase. It did pull back in a previous support level, but as I look at it,
Not be buying.
that's not nearly the liquidity I was expecting to be able to see. I might pass on this one. I want more liquidity than that. But certainly, if you're watching some of these earnings names, it hasn't been, if it's not the move you're expecting, then sometimes the best you can do is sit out. Like BABA was just cruising there. And I don't know what just happened at 74, but like, what is that hammer wick? And my first thought was, is PDD giving any sign of a pullback? And the answer is yes. Like basically, I think that candle on BABA was PDD went to 130 and dipped $1. And then like some kind of program was like, let's start selling. Well, if we're heading back to the bottom from here, or at least pulling back, that is a nice retracement level. Usually I like PDD long, but in 130 on a dime, okay, 129.94 is the actual high, but if I'm putting a stop, I'm not putting it at 129.94, ever.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel some ways here as well about Roblox. So thing is like I was just looking over at some of the things that I do here, and it doesn't really make a ton of sense to be going long right now. We've broken below here the 200 period. So it's like now that I mean, not now, like I said, man, you can always change your mind. That's part of the best part about this place. We already have 150 fills today, right? So including 30 of them on Roblox. So we're still up on the name. It's just, I don't know what strength this name has left in it. I would have thought that it would have bounced off here more than it's doing. So I'm not changing my tune completely. We still have what may be a big position, but it's not huge. So we've already been getting it out. I get like the feeling again that maybe Roblox would bump up. And then if it does, then we got VWAP. So then me taking these out like here just to try to preserve capital would be a mistake. But I just took another piece out again at 14s or whatever that was. So yeah, I'm battling with this. I'm going to put another offer there as well. Like if we just keep on bouncing off there, we'll take the profit. But like Neil mentioned, I mean, you are back into that 43 level pretty quick. See, there it is. So you're back into this level pretty quickly here on Roblox. So you got to be a little careful with what we're doing. I'm going to punch some out there at 92, just because that's a dime out. We can only get a dime up. So to risk to reward that. All right. All right. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, don't YOLO right now on Holo is what I'm saying, but I'm going to get to this one. There's a lot of questions about it. There's so much to trade today. I knew this was going to happen, but they're joining the communications industry in tension. That's the story here. So it's just another low float runner, and when you talk about low float runners, it's 900. I think it's under 1 million shares. 950,000 share float. It's done 82 million shares today. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. That's all I'm going to say. It's done 82 million shares. It's a reverse split, ridiculous piece of whatever. I would not be chasing this move. That's just me, but stranger things have happened. You got to put things into context. And if you have it off of a consolidation at 5 where you can be risking it to 450, that's 50 cents worth of risk on a structured trade. And it's breaking out at 5 and it's already gone from $1.50. Like, you can reason something in here. Like, reason can be in the building. I don't know what you do up here at $7. So it would have to do some kind of a pullback. That is insane. I just want to make sure everyone knows that it is doing some crazy things up here on Holo. I'm into PDD off that 130 level. And we'll see. Like, I don't think it necessarily gets all the way to VWAP, but I do respect, like, look at 128. A little bit of a stall here at 128. If it can pull back into that, not bad at all. The other reason I like 130, I know I say when in doubt, zoom out. There are often times, like, I have done this, but I don't show you because things are moving fast. When you zoom out and look at the daily chart, 130 is an obvious resistance level on the daily chart. That's the other reason I'm kind of looking at this, running into this level and looking for the turnaround play. I always want some confluence. It's not just because it's a round number. If you pull the chart back, you also find it resistance at 130 as well.
All right, I'm into Snapchat again, but the thing, okay, here it goes. I was gonna say, okay, good. We're long at 46. It wasn't breaking 47. Like, I punched 47 the first time, and then I was like, oh shoot, it's reloading. But that just, okay, I got to get some out, guys. We could go positive on Snapchat after being a disaster right there earlier. All right, so the idea earlier, actually, what am I talking about? Earlier was the best. Snapchat was the best early, man. It really ran on that. It really ran up. I feel like it's exactly what we said would happen, but just not as far as I thought it would go. We actually wrote down stuff about 1250, but the thing is that this was short covering. Obviously, people log in, they see their account. The opening tick was all the way up here. So when we pulled back and then ran again, I feel like that was a lot of traders being like, oh God, we're in the money like 30%, we should cover.
Take that.
And then once there was no follow through, then we really got hit down to the bottom right there. So like I said, I don't know. I initially bought Snapchat on a thesis that maybe it was a buyout candidate. I just took some more out there.
Might still be.
Yeah, no, it might still be. I'm not buying more of this, but let's just wait to see what happens here with 52s. Or not with 52s, we just got up to 54, but let's see what happens with this position. What was that, Sharif? Oh, yeah. I'm only in a quarter. I'm not buying more Snapchat, honestly. Like, with the NASDAQ up as high as it is right now, I think I'm just gonna stay doing what I'm doing, man, and that is like holding on to these big guys, watching Palantir absolutely moon, which has been a big holding of mine, obviously, as you guys know, and then talking about other things such as Disney tonight. This could be an absolute disaster. We haven't even looked at this yet today, but look at the chart.
100 yet?
What? Yeah, I mean, this was 97.
That's the level to wait for today, I think.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, was that
I mean,
97 at the open?
It was at 97 at the open.
Okay.
So
Well, then there
this
was
stock
probably
is moving today and moving quite nicely. So anybody that's looking at Disney today, man, you got a nice winner off that bottom. That's the barcode right there that you're looking for with the bottom. So that barcode breaking VWAP, nice move all the way to the upside. That's the kind of stuff that we are looking at it. All right, you know what? Hey, we talked about having big trades today. We had Google, we had Palantir. Let's see if we can have Snapchat. Let's see if this will go back into 1170. And if it does, then we'll be pretty happy with that. So let's put an offer at 60 because that's why. It's at every 10 cents. And then we'll go 70 for another 10 cents.
Let's get on over to see what the USD is doing with Adair at the desk. It's Money Talks.
Second day in a row of downside for the USD here. Definitely running into some resistance with that earlier top of 104,500 that we were seeing May 2023. We did get some economic data today, though, here. U.S. December exports and imports, both higher than expected. Exports over 258 versus 258 billion versus 254 billion prior. Imports 320 billion versus 316 billion prior, so both beating the prior numbers there. Worth noting, lots of Fed speak on watch for today. We do have Feds Kugler, Collins, Barkin, and Bowman all speaking later today. Kugler to speak at 11 a.m. So going to be coming up within the next 10 minutes here, could be impacting the USD, guys. Also worth noting here, if you're involved in Snap, Evan Spiegel to speak at CNBC at 11 a.m., guys, so keep an eye on that one.
Well, that should be interesting. But it's just finally made actual strength on the move back up. I told you I like the even levels, so until it's holding above 50, that's my in on the bounce play, either in front of it or on the other side of it. So I didn't get in until it was holding 50s on the bid, and once it did, I just jumped 51s. So I've really just taken 51s twice here. So I'm gonna stick to it. If it gets to VWAP, I think VWAP on a retrace. Look at what VWAP has done. I think that sort of speaks for itself as it tries to go. Oh yeah, Apple. The market's breaking out, by the way. Shoot, Apple's probably gone. Oops, AAPL. Yeah, Apple. I wanted this under VWAP fill here. Apple finding support at 189.50. I'm gonna try and join this. The Nasdaq's taking out highs. We're 1.2% up on the Nasdaq.
That's right, baby. That's right.
That's the other side of this coin. The market is absolutely flying here. Let's just show you guys what's going on with the NASDAQ. This
the NASDAQ, never heard of it.
The market is green.
Yeah.
And also, we're showing Snapchat a lot because it's moving around doing a lot of volume. But the overall story is the market is absolutely flying.
Yeah, the market is huge right now. It's been a very, very good day for people that are long equities, specifically not ones that report, and or The future.
Big cap tech, baby.
Yeah, I mean, any sort of Qs you're holding or anything like that, man, you look down at your account today and
Well, look at Netflix, 2%. We haven't talked about
you've
that.
never seen a number higher than what you've seen today. So congratulations on all of that. We're starting to run, man. Adara gave us a nice little piece there, but of course we had no idea about that coming on CNBC. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I mean, but we'll play that bump. We just talked about getting out at 60. We got multiple outs up there at 60 on Snapchat. So we'll see. We got a 57 and a 60. Let's just see where it goes. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, but if he comes on and, you know, kind of talks nicely about his company.
I want to have something on board still while he's on. But.
Yeah. So I've got a decent piece on board. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. You want to buy it here?
I'm not buying it here. I'm just like I've taken out. What did I take out? Like 15%. It just got cold here. I threw my sweater back on. Temperature's always all over the place. Yeah. But I want to get outs into the last green candle on my 3-minute, which is 1170. That was the last zone. That was that key aftermarket price at the bottom. So if it was support, like there's that level, I want to take legs out in front of it. If it breaks that, I want a small piece on board. PDD is just sort of hanging out here at the top at that 130 level. It wicked the top again. So I took more shares in it. I didn't have anything else that I liked when the market wicked the top. So if I have nothing else that I like short, then I just add to the one position I have instead of trying to find something else. It is what it is. Like I didn't see an entry in a firm when the market wicked that top. If I had seen an entry in a firm at 44, I probably would have taken that. So 2 names short. Ford's still holding on to the bottom. Snap was the newest long for me. I am trying to get a fill like under here to risk about 20 cents on Apple again. Just looking at the range that it's putting in, I want to be able to play this range. But it is 10:55. Oh, wow. Don't go anywhere. You got to learn to trade in the midday. You got all kinds of movement. Apparently, also, you have the Snapchat CEO going on some other channel in a few minutes. So there's a lot. You got Fed speakers. We're back at 2 o'clock. I'll be back on for the lesson of the day, which I already know what I'm going to do based on the way this morning went.
Good.
You know, I always like it. I always like it to be, if I can, something that I learned today that the market taught me. Usually it'd be something I know already, but it's just something that played out today that we can take advantage of, so it should be fresh on our minds. But anyways, we got a couple of minutes to go here. As you mentioned, we're in Snapchat. Something might happen at 11 o'clock. We'll see what happens when they start talking. Apple did just come in, so I just got that bid here at 58. And your local bottom is just under the 50 level. So it's actually less than 20 cents worth of risk. Just a little bit less.
Just a little bit. All right, guys, if you're wondering like what's going on, I'll just talk a little bit about Roblox here because there's not much we don't have to talk about. We're getting close to throwing it back, so that's why. All right, so Roblox. Look, we just bought 50s, and that out is 78, that out is 82 or something like that. Again, you have to sit here and play these wicks. This is an earnings day for Roblox. It's very, very jumpy. We're not even really going to be down. Well, we're down now on this name, but I do want to buy it off 43. So that when we got long there, for some reason, I'm guessing it looks like it wicked down to 43 25s. That's pretty dangerous. So I do feel like Roblox is definitely a problem here underneath the hood with this report that someone doesn't like because it had a nice run up and ever since 10 o'clock, it's just getting hit to the downside. So we'll do a little research on this name and see if we can come up with why we need to be buying it. We took a big time advantage of that report because obviously when Adara had it as well, it must have hit. And then there's a nice upside move for Snapchat on a little bit of a relief rally. We only have half of what we took at this bottom now. So when we're going long like at 46s and we can get out at 60s when it's been looking like this, we'll do that. So that's another out that we have there. Roblox falling, but we talked about where we want to get longer on that one. Palantir still upside. Google, we have about 4% left of Google. Thinking about a reload, but I'm going to try to stay true to what we're doing here and getting long in 144 territory like we did there. We did drop it. We talked about dropping it, and then I went long on that indication that it was right. So again, instead of catching a falling knife, what I'm kind of doing here on Roblox, this is a completely different game. Let it fall down into the levels that we talked about, then let it hold that level. We got out, we took the L. let it hold the level. Then once we see that, then we can, with a little bit more confidence, get back up to the upside. Of course, it does help when the market is bouncing off VWAP as well. So some good help there. Now we need it on Roblox, but this is a falling knife. So I'm going to bid in and around this bottom of 20s, which it looks like if I don't get a bid out there now, I'll probably miss it. So let's do that. It's going to be Roblox all the way coming in to the downside. Let's take one more shot down here on Roblox.
Yeah, with 90 seconds to go, so we just got into Apple. Quick update. The range, this range that I was just talking about, if you kind of missed it there, 189.5, just a couple of pennies beneath it, and then the top is up at 190. So we get a dip buy, takes them out in the 85 range. So just play inside of that range. It's about a 50-cent range that you're able to see, but capturing all of it, you have to have like perfect entries and exits. So I end up getting like 35. So I'm going to play back here. I'm going to just jump right back on that bid as tight as I can to 189.5 on Apple. With 1 minute to go, remember, you're not going anywhere. You know, you're staking right here. You're just going to roll over to the Professor and Adara. It's been a wild roller coaster ride. I want to update a couple of things here just while we're ending it. PDD, I did add to it. Didn't really see anything as the market got to the top that I liked short that was new, so I just added to the one that I had when it showed me resistance at 130. So I'm into it, but I did take some out. When it fell back down, I'm going to scalp some more out. I'm giving it more room when I have less, but then when I add to the position, I'm going to scalp some at that first like 40, 50 cents and then work to 128.5. I'm anticipating 128 has some support on this name. Just want to be able to respect that. PDD has been an absolute rocket ship to the upside. So I want to respect that 128 level. I don't know if I get a VWAP or trace. If I do, great. But I want to make sure we take some profits out there. SMCI is a VWAP. I know we missed that one altogether. No 700 on NVIDIA today. That was disappointing. Kind of thought there was maybe, I said yesterday after it didn't go at the open, maybe we'd get a breakout on NVIDIA today at 700. It just hasn't materialized yet. But maybe this afternoon. Who knows? We're going to find out later. We'll be back at 2 o'clock. For now, let's get on to how to trade.
Got that Roblox bid.
Refrain and Adara.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome.